Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. There's a good heifer. 2 1/4, 225, better get out 7.5, better get out 7.5, 30, better get 35, better get 40, better get 45, better get 50, and 250, better get 50, better get 5, better get 60, and 260, better get your bands out, John, 260, and 50, 60, better get out, I'm on the internet, 255, 60, 255, 60, 255, 60, so 255, is that Wagner? Mr. Wagner on the internet. Angus, is that your steer, heifer? Where'd he go? There he is. Where's nice heifer right there? Here we go. We're going to have $2, $2, and $2.10, and $2.10. They're going to have 15. They're going to get 20. They're going to get 225, 30, and 230. They're going to have 225, 30, and 225, 30. They're going to have 30. They're going to have 30. They're going to have 30. They're going to get 35, 235, 40, 240 internet, 240, 240, 240. Jeff, 235. Jeff. Oh, 235. Jeff. Oh. How much? I'm going to sell them to you by the head, yeah. 100, 125, 50, 150, you're out. 75, 2. 2 1/4, half. 75, 3. 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Sold 300. Billy. By the head now. They're going to steer calf, long tail calf here now. They're going to have 250, and 250. They're going to have 50. They're going to have 5, and 255. They're going to have 55. They're going to have 55. They're going to have 255, and 60, and 60. They're going to have 60 phones. They're going to have 60 Gary, and 255, 60. They're going to have 60 Varner, 255, 5, 7. The boy calf right there, 235, 40, and 235, 45, better get 245, better get 50, and 255, better get 60, better get 5, and 570, 270, sir, 270, and 265, 70, and 70, better get 70, better get 70, better get 70, so 265, feeling 4. I take a steer here, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4, 30, and 225, 30, they're going to have 30, they're going to have 25, they're get 30, they're going to have 25, 30, they're going to have 30, they're going to get 30, and 225, 30, they're going to have 30. He might be all right, guys. 225, 30, and 30, they're going to get 30. So 2 1/4, put on feeling 5. Heifer calf here, they're going to have 235, 40, and 235, 40, they're going to have 40, they're going to get 40, they're going to get 40, and 235, who get 40, they're going to have 40, they're going to get 40, they're going to get 40, they're going to get 40, and 235, 240, they're going to have 40, they're going to get 40, they're going to get feeling, 235, 2. 235, 40, 235, better get 40, better get 35, 45, 45, 45, 50, and 5, better get 60, better get 5, better get 70, and 5, better get 75, 275, Terry, 270, 2. I'm sorry. Didn't think she'd black enough for him. Not dumb, is he?
No.
Good heifers. Did you bring them back here? There's Brenda's right here. It's my cousin down there in Reed, Oklahoma. Had 20-some cows yesterday. These right off the cows yesterday. Right off the mamas yesterday. Now it's over here. It's 250, and 250, either to get 60, and 260, 70, either to get 270, 80, either to get 280, 90, either to get 293, either to get 10, and 320, either to get 320, either to get 320, internet 320, and 30, either to get 30, either to get 30, either to get 30, either to get 30, and 320, 330, 320, 330, 30, 30, Wagner, and 320 on the internet. Steer mates, or boy mates. Bulls. For steers? Wonder who were them. My 96-year-old aunt, her daughter. Good boy cash, guys. Here, you're to get that $3 and 10, and $3.10, you're to get that 10, you're to get 20, you're to get 20, 30, you're to get 40, you're to get 40, you're to get 40, 330, 40, and 330, 40, 40, 40, 50, and 50, you're to get 50, 60, you're to get as the internet yacht 360, and 360, internet yacht 360, you're to get as the phones, you're to get as the you're to get fish 350, fish. Put on number 0. Now, Sharper case. Terriers and corn forth cattle. Right off of their mamas. They had good mamas, didn't they? Sir? 30 days. They weaned them 30 days ago, guys. They had nice black calves. Here we go. We're to get 250, and 250, to get 5, and 60, to get 85, to get 70, to get 270, to get 270, 80, and 290, to get 290, internet 290, 90, 93, and 310, and 20, to get 320, to get 310, 320, 310, 320, and 310, 320. Jerry, I'm waiting on you. And 320, to get sold 310. Put them on Wagner on the internet. Wagner. Internet. Here's the same cattle. She weaned them 30 days ago. They castrated them. They're ready to go, folks. Right there now. 3 1/4, and 3 1/4, and 3 1/4, 30, and 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, 330, and 30, to get 30. Anybody else here? 330, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, 40, and 335, to get 35, to get 335, and 335, to get 5. Dale, did you bid? Dale, did you bid? 335, 335. Sold 330. Wagner, you want them on a number, don't you? Throw them all together, Mr. Wagner. Larry. Okay. Another one, guys. She's weaned. I entered again at 235, 235, to get 35, 35, 40, to get 40, to get 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, 47 and a half, 50, at 2 and a half, to get 52 and a half, to get 252 and a half. Jeff, you bid at 252 and a half, to get 250, to get 2 and a half, and 2 and a half here, Varner. 250, put them on 50. Here's a heifers, corn forth heifers, little heifer calf right there now. To get that 275.80, at 275.80, to get 80, to get 280, 90, to get 293, to get 310, to get 320, to get 30, and 40, to get 40, 50, 350 a pound, at 350 a pound, to get 350 a pound here, buddy. 340 OX. Edmond, Oklahoma, with a double S, 5S or something. The 5. What is that? 5S Ranch, Edmond. You got anything on it, John? We don't have a sheet up here, Billy. Billy, if they got a sheet in there. Well, we ain't got a sheet. This. John. Nothing on them. Okay. 5J right here down there to get all right whoop around right there, Antonio. 5S. $3 now 10 at $310 to get that 10 20 to get that 20 30 to get that 30 40 to get 40 50 to get 350 at 340 350 340 50 350 now 60 at 360 at 350 360 to get sold 350 fish. Oh, thank you, Dennis. Take care of my baby boy. Bulls. Same cattle, guys, over at Edmond, Oklahoma. Good black bull calves right there now. To get 275.80 at 275. To give 80. To give 80. To get 280. To get 75. To give 80 at 280. To get 75. 80. Everybody else here 80, 280, 280, 280, 280 at 275. 80 here. Varner 275, 41. Looks like some wean cattle to me right there, Antonio. Okay, okay. Navarre cattle there, it says wean 90 days out here. Out of Weatherford, Oklahoma, the wean 90 days. They've had 2 rounds of all their shots coming out there at Weatherford, Oklahoma. There's a little cattle turnout today right there. Either to get 250, at 250, either to get 5, at 60, either to get either to get 55, either to get at 255, 5, to get 70, 270, at 265, 70, at 265, to get 70, either to get 70, either to get 70, either to get 70, and 70, either to get 70, either to get 70. Barnhart 265, 36. Dang it. Every time I sell out, guys, Larry, a little quicker. Here's some more of them, guys. 90 days wean. Their work, guys, out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. $3 now 10. At $3 now 10. At $3.10. They're to get 10, 10, 10. They're to get $3, 10, 10, 20. At $3.20. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. Internet out. At $3.30, 40. At $3.40. They're to get 50. They're to get 50. They're to get 50. At $3.40, 350, 340, 350 here. Fish. $3.40. Oh. 3 more steers. Wean 90 days. Male says a wean 90 days here. 250 at 250 at 250. They're to get 50. They're to get 250 at 250. They're to get 50 to buy. They're to get 50. They're to get 60 at 260. They're to get at 255 60 at 260. Internet 255 60 now 5 at 570. They're to get 270. Internet 275 at 5. They're to get 275 at 275. They're to get 5. They're to get Wagner on the internet 270. Wagner on the internet 270. Here's 3 more. Edmond, Oklahoma, wasn't it? No, Weatherford. Weatherford on these. Those heifer calves come out here at Weatherford, Oklahoma. My male says 90 days, but I'd keep her up close. Personally, anyway, right here now, to get 250, at 260, at 250, to get 60, to get at 250, to get 60, 70, 270, at 270, to get 70, internet shot, 270, you bulls are all right out here, 80, at 280, 90, 290, 93, to get 310, and 310, to get 10, she may be weaned 310, and 310, to get that 10, about, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, 10, to get feeling 2, and to get feeling number 2. Good black baldy calf right there. Come with him. That'd be weaned 90 days. He might be a little rough back if you want to use your imagination a little bit. If you want to be real critical. 235, at 235, 40, to get at 235, 40, to get at 235, 40, to get at 40. Never hurt him, boys. 235, at 235, to get at 35, 35, 35, 35, at 235, to get $2 now 10, and 10, 10, 15, to get 20, to get 25, to get 25, 30, at 230, to get 30, to get at 30, to get 5, at 235, to get 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, Jerry, at 230, Jerry, 22, at 230, Jerry, 22, 230. Here's a Warren calves, guys, out here west of town. Paula's old neighbor right there west of town. Good black cattle. Here we go. Enter to get 275.80 at 275.80 93. Enter to get 3 and 10. Enter to get 310. Enter to get 310 20 and 310 20. Enter to get 310 320 and 310 320 310 320 310 20. Wagner at 310. Good calves right there, Larry. Good calves. Be the Warren calves, Dennis. Yeah, but I think barely. Not doing real well. They got him in assisted living, you know. Here's some more of them, guys. More of the Warren calves. 250 at 250 to get 60 at 260 to get as I get Yvonne's I get to get at 250 to get 5 to get 255 60 and 5 to get 70 to get 5 to get 80 to get 5 to get 90 to get 5 and 95 295 3 and $3 to get 3 to get 295 3 and 295 3 to get 3 to get 3. Wagner on the internet 295. This is Steve. Is that Paul's son? Okay. More of the Warrens right there, guys. He does have nice black cows out there. Little bull calves right here, 3 1/4 at 325. To get now 25, 25, 25, 25, 30 to get 330 at 330 to get now 35 to get 40 to get 40, 40, 45 and 45 to get 345 to get 45 to get 45. Fish 340 0. Gonna put a top on them right there, young man. You know him, Jerry? You do? I'm sorry. All right. Nice calves, guys. Right off on the Warren calves right here now. $3 now 10 at $3 now 10 and 310 to get now 10 to buy them to get 10 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 and $3 now 10 to get $3 10 10 10. Fancy calves, guys. $3 and 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3 and $3 here to get at 250 at 260 to get now to get at 70 at 270 80 and 280 to get 270 give 80 280 280 280 280 and 90 and 293 and $3 to get 3 to get 3 to get Varner 290 Varner 290 41. Thank you to the Warrens. Here's a Beck cattle from Guthrie, Oklahoma. Doug's calves up here at Guthrie. Got anything on them, John? No info. Good cameras right here. 250 at 250 to get 50 to get 50 to get 50 at 250 to get 50 50 to get 50 to good black cameras here. 250 now 60 at 260 at 250 260 to get 60 to get 60 to get 60. Wagner at 250 on the internet. Goodbye. Here's Aaron Kerner's cattle down at Miko. 30 days, what mail says. 30 days they have been banded. The Kerner cattle right down there in Minko. They show it, don't they? And $3 now 10. And $3 now 10. To get $3 now 10. To get 10. To get 10. To get 10. To get 10. And 310. To get 10. To get 10. To get 20. And 320. 30. To get 30. To get 30. Internet chat 330. And 320. 330. To get 320. 330. 320. 30. To get fish 320 0. Here's 7 more of them, guys. They've been banded. They've been weaned for how long? 30 days. They had a round for all their calf food shots. Old cattle ready to turn out, folks, right there. Just keep an eye on them and turn them out. There'll be a good set of 500-pound steers, and they've got the weaning started. 275.80 at 275 at 80 to get 75 at 80 now 5 at 85 90 295 at 3 at $3 you get 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3 at 295 35 and 305 yacht bill 305 10 and 310 to get 10 now 12 and a half at 312 now 15 at 15 to get 312 and a half 15 and 312 and a half at 15 to get 15 to get 15 Barnhart 312 and a half number 32. Another steer guy's been banded. Come right with him right down there at Minko. They're to get that 250, 250, 250. They're to get that 50. They're to get 50. They're to get 55. They're to get that 255, 255. They're to get that 55. They're to get that. They're to get that. They're to get that. They're to get that 55, 55. Thinning at 250. Thinning 7. Thank you, Aaron. Got them white faces now, doesn't he? Here's the right kids from Gary, John. Mr. Wright up here at Gary. The male says long time wean. Is that right, John? The male says long time wean. They've had 2 rounds of shots. They're a good set of black heads. Say again. Nice black calves here. No, they're to get at $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and $3.10. They're to get at 10 of them. They're to get 10, 10, 10, 10, 20, and $3.20. They're to get 30. They're to get 35. They're to get 35. They're to get 3.35 and 35. They're to get at 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, and 35. Wagner 330 on the internet. 330 Wagner on the internet. Here's 7 more of them. Come up here at Gary, Oklahoma, folks. They're good black calves. They got that old W right there on that left hip. Male says are long wean. There are a good set of calves right there. 250, 250, 255. Better get 55. Better get 60. Better get 5. Better get 70. Better get 5. Better get 80. Better get 5. 285, 90. Better get 290, 290, 290, 290, 85, 90, 285. Better get 95 and 95. Better get 3 and 305. Better get 305, 10 and 310, 15 and 315. Better get 15. Grab a hold. 315 and 310, 15. Larry Wagner at 310. Larry Wagner, 310, good black heifers. Here's some more of them. Got a long time wean to bite right there, boys. They are long wean to come up here at Gary, Oklahoma. And 240, 240, to get 2.5, 42.5, 240, 2.5, 5, and 7.5, 50, to get 2.5, 5, to get 7.5, 60, 60, to get 260, Gary, you're out, 60, 257.5, 60, and 60, Barnhart, 250, 7.5, put them on number 31, number 31. I never know when he's going to be Bill B. I'm going to say, no W there, no W. Tommy Kirkland cattle guys there, Blanchard, Oklahoma. My male says a long time wean to kind of show it, guys. Long wean, they got some quality about them, boys. They're to get 250, 250, they're to get 5, 55, they're to get 60, they're to get 65, they're to get 70, they're to get 270, 265, 7.5, and 65, 7.5, 265, 7.5, and 7.5 are 265, number 69. What's this thing? Got horns. She got horns right here now. $2 now 10. 210. There to get 10. There to get 10. There to get 10. There to get 10. 15. There to get 20. 225. There to get 25. 30. There to get 30. There to get 30. 230. 225. 30. There to get 225. There to get 30. 30. There to get 30. Thielen 225. 21 and Pregall. There's 21 John. Gary Gage. You talk to him? He's been raising nice black heifers, or nice black cattle. I ain't talked to him forever. You talked to him, Gary Gage? Guess not. 2 really nice heifers, guys. He's been spending some money on some bulls, doing it right, folks, for quite some time now. At $3 now 10, at $3 now 10, and $3 now 10. There to get 3, there to get 10, there to get 10, there to get 10, there to get 10, and 310, there to get 310, there to get 310, there to get 310, and 10, there to get 10, 10, 10. So $3. That will be Wagner on the internet. Good gals, good gals. 6 more of them. You talked to Gary Gage? Nope, I ain't talked to him forever. Well, they're good black heifers. They got some body to them. They got some butt to them, bone in them. 250, 250, there to get 5, 255, there to get 5, there to get 5, there to get 5, there to get 5, 255, there to get 55, there to get 5, there to get 60, and 5, there to get 70, there to get 5, there to get 80, there to get 5, there to get 85, internet 85, 85, 90, at 295, there to get 95, internet 295, 3, at $3, you get 3, there to get 295, 3, at 295, 3, there to get 3, Wagner on internet 295. 6 more Gary little heifers, 8 cow makers right here. Leonard. They got that flank in them, guys. They're Angus heifers. Angus heifers now. They got a wean look about them boys. Look like they're older and wiser and weaner. Is that a good word, weaner? 220, 220, there to get 2.5, there to get 220, 2.5, there to get 7.5, 30, there to get 2.5, 5, 5, 7.5, 37.5, 35, 37.5, 235, 37.5, and 7.5 here, 7.5, there to get 7.5. Bill, I got you now, 237.5, and 7.5, sold 235, Thielen 21. Toho cattle. Binger, Oklahoma, Tohos. What do you know, John? Good little black heifers from Binger, Oklahoma, down there southwest of town. Good set of black females. At 250, at 250, they're taking now 60. At 250, they're taking 60. They're taking now 60 pounds. They're taking now 60. They're taking now 60. Internet, Young gives 60, 70. At 270, now 80. They're taking 280. Internet here 80. They're taking 80. They're taking 80, 90. At 290, they're taking 280, but 90, 280, but 90, 280, but 90, and 90. They're taking 90. They're taking 90. So 280. Wagner on the internet. Wagner on the internet. 2 more good black females here. 225, at 225, 7.5, at 30, to get 30, 32.5, 35, to get 7.5, to get 7.5, at 235, 37.5, at 235, 37.5, at 35, 7.5, to get 7.5. Thielen 235, 28, 2x, 21, 21, 21. There's a little bull calf that come with them. Binger. Right down there, Binger, $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and 3 now 10, under to get 3 now 10, under to get 310. Gary's you bet 310, 10, 10, outside 10, and 310, under to get 310. Anybody else here 310, and 310, under to get 20, and 320, 310, 20, 310, 20, and 310, 320, 310, 20 here, fish, 310, fish, 310. Thank you. You're used to Binger, Oklahoma, the Tohos. What'd you say? Need male, Antonio. Aren't they good Angus bulls? You like them, Leonard? You like them? I do too. They are nice cattle. Good bulls right here. 250, 250, and 5, 55, 60, 5, 265, and 5, 265, and 5, 265, Sean at 260, number 8. Goodbye. Thank you to the Toho family. This will be the Williams cattle. These cattle also came from down there in Binger area. They're 45 days weaned. They've had a round of shots, and they're 45 days weaned. Down there in that Binger country, guys, here, 235, 7.5, at 40, to get 2.5, to get 5, to get 7.5, 50, at 250, 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 250, 2.5, at 250, to get 2.5, 250, 2.5, at 250, to get 2.5, 250, 2.5, and 2.5 here, 2.5 here, 2.5. So 250, Bryce Haynes, number 26 in Brigham. 26 in Brigham. Thank you, Bryce. Good morning to you. Some P&K cattle George is telling me about. They've been weaned for 110 days. He just brought 5 heifers. I believe he brought it. They are nice heifers. Been weaned for 110 days. Nice heifers here. Enter to get 235, 7.5, and 235, 7.5, 40 now, 2.5, 7.5, 50, 2.5, 5, and 55, 7.5, 60, 2.5, and 5, 7.5, and to get 60, 7.5, and 265, 7.5, where, and 7.5, 70, and 270, 270, internet 70, and 270, to get 60, 7.5, 70, and 70, B, 267.5, B6 in Brigham. There's 2 steers right off of them, guys. 110 days weaned down in that Tuttle area. Aren't they good steers? They're ready to turn out today. Right there now, they're to get 260 and 5. They're to get 265, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 265 at 265. They're to get 5, 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 and 5, they're to get 5. Gary Thielen, 260, number 25. Cheaper than Herbert. New deal. New deal, guys. Thank you to the PK people from down at Tuttle. First time here. Here's a little Charolais Cross Harvest. Calumet, Oklahoma, guys. Over at Calumet. There's some little hungry heifers now. $3 a pound. $3 a pound. 10. 310. 310. You'll play? 310. 310. 310. 20. 320. 320. So 310, Leonard. Billy Barnes, 310 a pound. On 2. Longhorns, I guess. Boys, here's 2 more of them. Here's 2 more. The same little heifers come up here at Calumet, Oklahoma. 275.80, 275.85, I get 285, I get 285, I get 285, at 285, internet shot 285, and 85, I get 285, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5, 285, 5 Varner, at 280, number 28. Little boy K's come with them right there. Boy K's come with them here. They're to get $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, and 310. They're to get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. What's your man now, 20, and 320, 333, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, and 333, 40, 333, 40, 50, and 350. 350. How'd you get out of that? 350, and 340, 350, and 340, 350. Sold on internet, 340. I believe that's Wilford. Brian Wilford on the internet. Thank you, Brian. Good calves. This will be the Burns cattle down there at Duncan, Oklahoma cattle. Burns family. Got anything on them today? Little Pee-wees right there now. Pee-wee heifers here, $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, and 3, they're to get now 10, they're to get now 3, they're to get now 10, and $3 now, 10, but 10, 10, Assagate, 20, and 320, they're to get 320, they're to get 310, 320, 310, 320. I got the internet, 310, 320, and 310, 20, 20, 30, 330 internet, 330, 330 internet, 330, 320, 30, and 30, they're to get 30, they're to get 30, they're to get 30, they're to get Thielen, 320, put them on 0. Never can tell when they might stop. Here we go. We're driving along right here now. Bring more of them. Seven more of the Burns servers. They come down there Duncan guys. That'll be well nice calves. Got anything on with them? Do you have anything on, Bill? Burns Farm, Burns family down there at Duncan, Oklahoma. Good little heifers right there now. 275.80, 275, better give 80, 275, better give 80, better give 80, better give 275, 80, at 280, better give 75, better give 80, better give 80, better give 80, better give 80, at 90, better give 290, better give 280, 90, and 280, 90, and 280, 90, and 280, 90, better give 80, better give 90, better give 90, better give 90, better give 90, internet, 280, and put them on Wagner, Larry Wagner, goodbye. And here's some bouquets come with them. Duncan, Oklahoma. Duncan, Oklahoma, and they're to get $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, they're to get 3, they're to get 10, and 10, they're to get 10, 10, 10, they're to get 10, they're to get 10, 10, 10, they're to get 10, and 10, they're to get blend them fish, 310, and 10, they're to get 310, they're to get 310, they're to get 310, 250, at 260 now, 70, now you'll blend them, 80, at 280, 90, at 290, they're to get 290, 280, 90, we're out again, 290, at 280, 290, 280, 290, 280, 290, so 280, Ricardo 5, 280. You may not have enough to blend them. Ricardo Limousine Ranches. There's some more of them guys, Burns family down there at Duncan, Oklahoma. Little bouquet is right here now. They're going to 275.80, 275, they're going to 80, 275.80, they're going to 80, they're going to 80, they're going to 275.80, at 280, they're going to 75, 280, 280, 280, 280, at 80, they're going to 50, at 255, at 255, they're going to 60, they're going to 55 now, 60, at 5, at 265, brash out, 265, at 5, now 70, at 270, at 270, they're going to 70, they're going to 70, Bryce Haynes, 265, put them on number 51. Number 51. Thank you, Bryce. You see that far? This will be the Martin kids Jeff George is telling me about. These are all out of one of them neighbors down there, Savage cows. He bought his cows off of Mr. Savage down there at Pocasset. They're really well-bred cows. They come right down there at George's neighbors down there at Pocasset. Nice efforts here. 275.80, 275.85, 285, 285, internet chat, 85, 85, 90, and 295, $3, and $3.05, 305, 305, internet chat, 10, and 310, 15, 15, internet, 315, 20, and 320 a pound, and 315, 20, 20, 20, and 20, Wagner, 315 on the internet, Wagner on the internet. 8 more steer calves off of them, guys. They're good little steer calves. Go back to that Savage genetics. I think they're steered too, aren't they? Anton? Yeah, I think they've all been cut. Good calves, guys. Good case, $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and $3 10, to get 20, to get now 20, to get 310, 320, 310, 320, and 20, to get 310, 20, to get 20, to get 20, Sean 320, and 310, 20, and 310 now 20, 310, 20, and 20, to get 20, yeah, 20, to get 310, 20, and 20, to get Varner 310, put on number 39. 39, Varner 39. Varner 39. Male Anton. Thank you to the Martin family. This will be the Evans cattle in black down at Hobart, Oklahoma. They've had a rowdy shots. They've had a rowdy shots, and they got black ball face heifer calves right there. 250, at 250, 35, at 255, 55, 55, 55, 55, 255, at 60, at 260, 85, 55, 55, 265, at 5, 55. Excuse me, 265 and 5, Wagner 260 on the internet, Larry Wagner. Hi, Tommy. Bye, Tommy. Here's more of them good calves down at Hobart, Oklahoma, didn't you, John? They had a round of shots and everything's done to them. Bryce Haynes, look at here now. All right, they're going to okay, nice set of heifers right there, boys, right here now. They're going to have 235.40, at 235.40, at 40 now 5, at 245, at 245, 42 and a 5, at 45, at 5, 7 and a half, at 50, at 250, at 50, at 50, at 50, Bryce, okay, 50, at 252 and a half, at 255, at 55, Bryce, 55, at 255, 7 and a half, 60, at 2 and a half, at 260, 2 and a half, 5, at 265, Bryce out again. 265 at 262 and a half, 5 at 262 and a half, but I get 5, but I get 5, Thielen 262 and a half, 31, Preg the 31s. Here's a male calves come with them. They got pretty good work, pretty good genetics, Kiowa County steer calves. Had all their shots around of them right there. 250 at 250 and 5 at 255 at 5 55 55 60 at 260 Brash okay 60 at 5 and 5 at 70 at 267 and a half Brash 70 at 270 at 2 and a half at 272 and a half Brash 272 and a half at 272 and a half good steers 272 and a half check your head count. Thank you, Jerry. You still got to look out after me, don't you? Thank you. You got it now? 250, 250 on the back outside, 250 now 5, 255, 255, now you're out internet, 255, 255, got the weight change now, 255, 255, feeling, 250, put on number 6, here's same case right here. Here's the same case, 5 more of them right here now. Good black cattle right there now. Come from Hobart, Oklahoma. 235, 7.5, 235, 7.5, 235, 37.5, 7.5, 7.5, 40, 242 and a half, 42 and a half, 245, 245, 47.5, 47.5, 245, 7.5, 7.5, feeling, 245, 7. Thank you guys from Cowal County. Thank you, Jerry. Ballots. Let's go to Grandfield, Monty Grounds. You know Monty Leland, Leonard? Has. It's been a long time since I've seen him too. They're 42 days weaned. They're all worked. They've had all their shots. They've been on the self-feeder and grass hay. They've been on feeder and grass hay, so they've been weaned for a long time, guys. 42 days weaned. They're nice cows. All castrated. They look like they'd be bulletproof to me. Really nice cattle here. $3 now 10 and $3 now 10. Under to get 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 10 and 310. Under to get now 10 to buy. Under to get 15 and 15 now 20 and 320. Under to get 22 and a half. 322 and a half. Yeah, Bill 22 and a half at 322 and a half at 322 and a half at 322 and a half. Under to get 2 and a half. Under to get 2 and a half here. Varner at 320. Put them 11. Here's another one. Here's a big brother right there, a big brother. Under to get 250, 250, 250, under to get 50, under to get 50, under to get 50, 250, under to get 2.5, now 5, and 55, under to get 2.5, under to get 52 and a 5, 252 and a half, under to get 5, under to get 5, under to get 5, and 5, under to get 5, under to get feeling 252 and a half, 7. Hey, yeah, some coffee, please. Thank you. Mark, you're getting prettier every week. Isn't he, Antonio? Mark's getting prettier every week. Same case now. They've been weaned 42 days, had all their shots. There's an ideal little black steer. Weaned and ready. Thank you. Weaned and ready. 3 1/4. 325, 30, and 30. To get 35. To get 40. To get 45. To get 40, 50, and 5. To get 55. To get 5. To get 60. And 365. To get 70. And 370. To get 70. To get 70. To get 70. To get 70. And 70. To get 70. Sold 365. 0. Good job, young man. Here's new deal. Man, I like that little kid. Boeing cattle guys from Stephenville, Texas. Ernest Boeing from Stephenville. 2 rounds of shots. 30 days. 30 days wean. 2 rounds of shots. Down there in Stephenville, folks, there's some good heifer calves. Heifer calves, 250 and 255 and 255. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, internet 60 at 260 and 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, internet's out 265, 70 and 270 now 580 and 285, 285, internet's out 285 and 90 and 290, 85, 90, a bill you're out 290 and 295 and 95, internet 295, the internet's out 295 and 295 and 295, 95, 95, 95, Barnhart 290, put them on 3.6. Here's some more of them, the 30 days wean. They had their shots. They come down to Stephenville, Texas. Nice heifers right here now. Here we go. To get 235, 7.5, and 235, 7.5. To get 40, and 240. To help a little Dennis here. 40, and 237.5, 42.5, 42.5, and 242.5 here. 42.5. Got up here, and 242.5, 5, and 245, and 47.5. To get 247.5. Now you're there, and 247.5, and 7.5 here. You're to get Thielen. 245, 2-1. You got to step in when he gets like that. Right? Tell your old partner to step in and help you, man. There's 2 more heifers, guys. Come with them now. Boeing cattle. Stephenville, Texas. 30 days, had your shots. 30 days and had your shots. Here's 225 and 225 and 25. They're going to 225. They're going to 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25 and 225. They're going to 25, 25, 7.5 and 227.5 and 7.5, 30 and 230. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30 and 30. They're to get 30. Dennis 227.5, 16 and Brigham. 2 steers off of them, folks, now 30-plus days weaned, had their shots from Stephenville, Texas. Look like they're hunting something to eat now. Good chaos here. You're to get $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, and 3.10. They're to get 10 to buy, but to get 10, 10, 10, 10, 3.10, and 3.10 outside 10. They're to get 3.10 and 3.10. They're to get 10, 10, 10. Internet shot 3.10 and 3.10. They're to get 10. They're to get 10. They're to get 10. They're to get 10 and 10. They're to get Varner $3. Put them a number. 31, 40, 39. Morning. Boy K is right here. Six more Boy K's. 60 something. Good Boy K is right here, but there could be a bull on him. I don't. There's just one bull on him. He caught the rest of them cut. That's in Boeing cattle come down there at Stephenville, Texas. Good chaos right here now. They're to get 250, 250. They're to get 5. They're to get 55. They're to get 5. They're to get 60. They're to get 90. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 570. 275. They're to get 275. Internet chat 275, 80 and 285 and 285. They're to 285. They're to get 90 and 290. They're to get 90, 285, 90, 280, 92 and a half and 295 and 295. Internet 292 and a 5 and 292 and a half. 5. They're to get 292 and a half. 5 and 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. Barnhart 292 and a half, 32. Number 30-yard amount. Bring the bull back right here. Here's some more of them, guys. Well, them Boeing cattle have been weaned 30 days. They've had their shots. They come right down there, Stephenville, Texas, down there in the Texas cut. That looks like they've been weaned a lot longer than 30 days, don't it? Nice. Little short yearlings. In the arena, and 250 and 5 and 255. Better get 55. Better get 5. Better get 5. Better get 5. Better get 5. 255, 7.5 and 7.5. Bill 7.5 and 257.5 and 7.5. Brash out 7.5 and 257 to Gary out 255, 7.5 and 255, 7.5. Better get 7.5 here. Better get Varner 255, 601. A bull come with them. Another bull come with them right there. Stephenville now. They're to get $2 now, 10, and $2 now, 10, and 210. They're to get now 10 to buy. They're to get 10, better than 10, better get 10, 10, 10, 210, and 20. They're to get 220. They're to get 215, 20, and 25. They're to get 25. They're to get 225, Gary, and 25, 2.5, 5, and 220, 2.5, and 222 and a half, 5, 222 and a 5. They're to get 5. Did you watch TV last night? Okay, so 222 and a half. Put on Thielen number 7. Thielen number 7. I love you, Joe.
Fish.
Hey.
Fish.
Fish you?
No.
Here's Buddy's cast. Buddy, I thought you talk about good heifer calves now. And they've been weaned for 63 to 87 days. They've had a round of shots. They've all been tested for PI, and they were negative. Talk about nice heifer calves. Where'd you get them right? Did you raise them? Woo, they're fancy. They're fancy. $3 out 10 and 3 now 10 and 12. And I get 12 and a half. 15. And I get now 20. And I get 5 and 325. And I get 25. 25. 325 and 25. Larry, where are you? 325 and 325. And I get 25. And I get 330 and 330. And I get 5 and 335. Where are you, John? 330. No, you're out. 335 and 335 and 540 and 340. 340. 335. 40. Larry, you're out. 340 and 335. 340. And I get 40. And I get 40. Did I get 40? Butch, 335. Put him on 2-1. 2-1. Where it? Oh, Larry on him. Can't believe Larry didn't buy it. Anyway, here's 3 of the steer mates. Here's 3 of the steer mates. 60 to 90 days weaned. 60 to 90 days weaned. $4 a pound. $4 and 4 to get 4 to buy, but to get 4 to get 4 to get 4 to get 4 to get 350, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 90 to get 394 to get $4. You get 4 to get 4. I'll be darned. I'm back there. 4 at 394 to get 394 to get 394, 10 and 10 to get 10 to get 10 to get 10 to get 10, 410 and 10. Jerry, $4. Put him on number 5. 9 more of them. 9 more of them, 60 to 90 days weaned. They've all been tested for PI and they're all negative. They've had all their shots. Really nice set of black steers. 275.80 and 275.85, 95, 3 to get 35 to get 10 to get 15, 20 and 5 to get 330 to get 30 to get 330 at 325, 30 to get 325, 30 at 325, 30 brash out 30 now 5 at 335, 40 at 340 to get 35, 40 to get 335 now 40 at 335 now 40 to get 40 to get 40 to get 40 to get 40 and 40 to get a Mac Treese 335, 50. Goodbye, Michael. $51, change that to 51. Here's 2 of the red ones. What, Dennis? Here's 2 of the red ones now. 60 days weaned to 90. 60 to 90 days weaned. Either to get 275, 80, and 275, to get 80, 90, to get 290, to get 290, to get 290, and 280, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Anybody else here? 93, and 310, to get 310, to get 310, and 310, to get 10, 10, 10. What'd you say? Internet's out. 310, 310. 310, 20, 320, 330, 330 internet, 330, 330 to 40, and 340, 340, 50, 350 internet, 350, 350 internet, 60, 360, 360, 360 to get Wilford on the internet, 350 a pound Wilford on the internet. All right, here they're getting fancy black average here now. They're getting 275, 80, and 275, but to give 80, they're getting 75, but to give 80, and 280 here, 80 there, but to give 80, but to give 80, but to give 80, to get 275, 80, and 80, to give 80. Larry, where are you now? 280, and 275, 80, and 275, 80. Good average here, 275, 80, and 80, to get 250. 255, 255, and 255, and 255, and I get 60, and 255, 60, and 260, they're getting 55, 60. Anybody else here? 60, and 255, 60, they're getting 65, and 65, Larry, and 265, Larry's out, 265, now 70, and 270, Bryce, 270, and 70, they're getting 70, they're getting 70, Larry Wagner, at 265, Larry Wagner. 7 good heifer calves right there. Now you talk about good heifer calves. Weaned heifers right there. I'd get weaned heifers here now to get 240, at 240 to get 2.5, at 240, 2.5 to get 2.5, 5, at 245 to get 50, at 250 to get 55, to get 255, at 250 now 5 to get 255, at 255 to get 55, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, at 255 to get 5, to get 5, to get 5. Bryce, 250 on the internet. Goodbye. 25 Preg. Hey, male, Dennis. Here's some long-tail heifers.
Okay, Mel, Billy.
Bryce won that fair and square. Bryce won that fair and square. Western Pleasure. Western Pleasure. Never heard of it?
No. I don't guess.
Double C Springer. Dennis. He's never heard of it. He's never heard of it. Double C Springer, 75 days. Woo, look at that. Look at there, guys, right here now. They're taking at 235, at 235, they're taking at 7.5, 42 and a half, 5, 7.5, 50, at 250, they're taking 52, 50, internet out 2.5, at 250, 205, 7.5, 60, at 260, we're at 2.5, they're taking 5, they're taking 5, 65, 7.5, 70, at 270, internet, 270, they're taking 70, internet's out 270, at 260, 7.5, 70, at 70, they're taking 70, they're taking 70, Barnhart, 267.5, 36. Here's a double C's now. You like them, William? How many days? They are nice cattle. They got a white faces. A lot of them do. 75 days wean, folks. They're right. They're the right kind now. Fancy heifers. 250, at 250, at 250, they're to get 2.5, at 250, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, and 5, 7.5, 60, 2.5, 5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, at 260, 2.5, at 260, 2.5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, B, you're out now, 7.5, at 260, 7.5, 6, 8, at 268, B, 268, at 268, 70, at 270, at 270, they're to get 272, at 272, by a good one, guys, 272, at 272, at 272, they're looking at 200, they're looking at 24, at 274, 272, 4, wait on him, wait on you, 274, and 4 here, sold, 272, B6 and Pragum. Here's 35, the steer mates, Bill. Springer.
Double C's.
35, the steer mates, some old steers right there you can turn out today. Like that deal, Dennis? I do too. Look at that guts in them, guys. Now they'll be trouble-free in the arena. 270 and 270 to get 2.5, to get 72.5, to get 2.5 out the gate, 2.5 at 272.5, to get 2.5, to get 272.5 at 272.5 at 277.5, to get 7.5, to get 7.80 at 282.5 at 285, to get 5, to get 7.5 at 90 and 290 to get 90 bill out 90 287.5 90 to get 90 out of high 90 and 287.5 90 and 90 to get 90 to get 90 to get 90 to get 90. We're at 287.5. Put on number 26. Goodbye, Butch. Woo! Your daddy be proud of you. I don't know. Thank you, CNC. Probably. Wade Davis. Let's go to Wade's cattle down there at Stewart. Mr. Davis. What you got? Bill, you got anything? Off to Mamas. Good selling old steer heifers. Hey, look what Wade did. Nice heifer calves, guys. Nice heifer calves. Good cattle and good people right there. 250. At 250, they're going to 60. At 260, they're going to get 70. They're going to get 70. And 270, they're going to get 65. They're going to get 265 and 5. And now 70. And 270, Bryce out. 270 and 70. They're going to get 265, 70. And now 5. At 275, Larry. 275, Larry out. 275, 80. At 280, Bryce here. 275, 85. And 285, Larry. And 285, vertical Larry out, 285 and 285 and 285, to get 285, to get 285. Rice Haynes 280. Put him on number 25. No preg. No 18 more of the same heifers now. Wade's doing it right. Wade's doing it right. Nice heifer calves right here. Boys, I'm going to hold one heifer if you want me to, okay? I'm going to hold one heifer if you desire. Nice set of heifer. She's just a little taller and longer and thinner. I don't know what she is. All right, nice over here. Now, again, at 235 and 7.5. And again, 235, 7.5. Out to gate, 7.5. At 235, 7.5. And again, 7.5. And again, 7.5. 40. At 240. And again, 40. And again, 2.5. And again, 5. At 245. And 245. Now, 7.5. At 47.5. 245, 7.5. Internet's in. Time 7.5. 46, 8. At 48. Out here, up here. 46, 8. 48. Down, 9. 50. At 250. At 250. At 248. 50. At 250. Got one or two over, John. 248, 50. Bryce in. 248 now, 50. 248 now, 50. 248 now, 50. Did you get 50 now? 1. 251 Bryce. 251 2. 252 so. 251 Bryce Haynes number. 26 and Pregnant. Bring out one back. Whatever she is. What do you call her? A Coochie. Never heard of it. Okay. Here's two more of them, guys. Two more of them. Good Charolais crossovers, aren't they? I entered again at 215 now, 17.5 and 17.5. And to get out to gate 70.5, 20 and 222.5. And to get 5, and to get 5, and to get 7.5, and to get 30 at 232.5. And to get 2.5, and to get 5, 3, 5 and 35, 7. And to get 9, and to get 39, and to get 37, 9 and 237, 9. And to get that feeling 237, number 20, Pregum. Well, that's over there. Folks, here's Wade steers. Wade Davis' steers, they're right off their mamas. Stewart, Oklahoma, but they had good mamas. Steers right here. Hey, guys, look what he brought you right there and added again at 260, and 260, to get 2.5, and 262.5, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 262.5, and 2.5 out the gate, 2.5, and 262.5, 5, and 265, to get that 7.5, 70, and 2.5, 5, and 7.5 to 80, and 282.5, 5, 287.5, and 90, and 292.5, 5, and 297.5, 3, and 32.5, 5, and 37.5, 10, and 310, to get 37.5, 10, and 307.5, 10, and 10, to get 10, to get 10. Internet 307.5. Bryce, put on number 51. 54.
Yard out the shower.
Yard out the shower. Here's 29 more of them, folks. Good bodied steers down in Stewart, Oklahoma. Good bodied steers, Stewart, Oklahoma. And to get 250 and 5 and 255, to get 55, to get 5, 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 55, and now 55, to get 252.5, and 252.5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 7.5, and 257.5, to get brush out 57.5, and 257.5, to get 7.5, and 255, 7.5, to get 60, and 262.5, 5, and 7.5, 70, and 270, internet 70, to get 70, to get 70 out of here, and 72.5, and 272.5, and 275. Your man's out of here, 275, 272.5, 272.5, 272.5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5. So 272.5. Bryce 272.5. 5. Here's 5 more of the Davis steers. They get big, they get to be the biggest. Look here. Yard last got out. Yeah, she told him. Shars get to be the biggest right there now, Brycey. And they're the good steers here now. They're to get 230 and 230. They're to get now 30, but to get 30, but to get 30, but to get 30, but to get 32 and a half, and 232 and a half, but to get 2 and a half, but to get 232 and a half, but to get 2 and a half. Gary out 2 and a half, 31, 2 and 32. They're to get 31, 32, 31, 32, 3 and 33. They're to get 3. They're to get 4 and 35. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. 35, 6 and 36 on 35, 36, 35, 36 on and 35. Better to get 600 here. You're to get Thielen 235, 8. Thank you, Wade. These are going to be what? These are 70 days wean. Othel Gamble Trust cattle from Spiro. 70 days wean, folks, down Spiro, Oklahoma. Be a load of them now, folks. Be a load of them. Look at the tails on them. And look at the white faces, would you? They got the right recipe. Spiro, Oklahoma. I entered to get 240 and 240 to get 205. To get 45, 42 and a 5, 45, 45 and 247 and a half. To get 50 and 2 and a half. To get 2 and a 5, 7 and a half. To get 57 and 62 and a half and 5. To get 7 and a half, 70. To get 70 and 270. To get 72 and a half and 272 and a half, 5 and 275 here, 5. Better butch out 275, 272 and a 5, 275. You out of here 272 and a 5. Now 273, 4, 275, 275, 274, 5, 274, 5, 274, 5, Barnhart, 274, 31. Here's 26, the little steers. They do have a good recipe, folks. There's not any flesh on them. They're weaned for 70 days. All the work's been done, right? All the work's been done. I love them little white-faced cattle myself. Don't miss them. $3 now 10 and $3 here to get 10. To get that 10. To get that 10. To get 10 and $3 now 10. To get 10, 10, 10. Put them away if you're done, guys. 310 and 3010 and 3010. To get 310. To get 310. To get 35 and 305. To get 5. 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 Barnhart $3. Put them up 32. Here's Jerry Lamb's cattle, John.
Yeah, be about 50 some of these calves, Dad. Right down there at Rolfe, sitting right over here with us.
Here, right down here, Mr. Lamb, right over here, Rolfe, Oklahoma.
Okay, check for.
He's had right off the cage. Give him 2 rounds of shots.
Yep.
2 rounds. Good job, Larry.
No,
Or Jerry.
Jerry Rolfe.
Jerry Larry Barry.
Lamb.
Mr. Lamb right here now. To get 250 and 255 and 55. To get 55. To get 5. To get 5. To get 5. To get 5. 255 and 255. 60 and 265. To get 70. To get 275. To get 5. To get 5 and 275 and 275. 80 and 275. 80. Brass is out. 285 and 285. 90. To get 290 and 5. 295. Internet chat. 295 and 295. 3 and $3. You get 3. To get 295. 3 and 295. 3 to get 295. 3 and $3. You get 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get Wagner 295 on the internet. Wow, Mr. Lamb. Woo! He knows what he's doing, don't he?
Oh yeah, lots and lots of years.
Been doing it for a lot of years. You're not saying he's old, though, are you?
No, I'm not.
No. Look at them good black heifers, would you? Mr. Lamb, Rolfe, Oklahoma. They'll wing like a dream now. Look at the tails on them. Look at them tails on them. I entered again at 240. At 240 to get 2.5. At 242 and a half. 2.5. 42 and a half. 42 and a half. At 242 and a half. To get 2.5. Gonna put them away if you're done, guys. 242 and a 5. 247 and a half. At 247 and a half. 50. At 250 to get 2.5. At 252 and a half. To get 2.5. 5. At 255. At 255 to get 5. Internet's at 257 and a half. At 257 and a half. At 256 7. At 257 257 internet, 257 internet shot, 257 and 256, 7, 258 and 258, 258. Wait on him, wait on you. 258, 257, 258, 257, 258. Internet 257. Bryce Haynes bought the goods. What number, Bryce? 26 in Pragham. 26 in Pragham. Well, Jerry, you get the star now. You get the Northern Star today. Look at them good black calves. Wow. I entered to get $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, entered to get $3 now, 10, entered to get $3 out to gate 10, and 310, entered to get 10 to buy them, but to get 10, and 310, entered to get anybody else, sir, 310, and 310, entered to get 310, entered to get 10, 10, 10, 15, and 15, entered to get 15, entered to get 15, I'm with John, 310, 15, and 15, entered to get 15, entered to get 310, entered to get 15, and 310, entered to get 15, entered to get 15, entered to get 15, and 15, entered to get Barnett, 310, put them at number 32. Goodbye there, Mr. Barnhart. See them when they weigh 1,200. Here's 22 more Jerry Lambs. Yep, that's all you can say. It is what it is, Dennis. Hey, you like these black steers? Wow, he does a good job. They will dream. They'll wean like a dream now. Got tails on them. Quality to burn, guys, right here now. 250, 250, to get 50, to get 50, 250, to get 50 to buy, but to get 50, 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 250, who started me here? 250, 250, to get 50, to get 50, to get 50, to get 50, 250 now, 2.5, 250, 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 250, 2.5, 250, 2.5, 250, 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 2. Feeling 250. Put on a number. 37. Goodbye, Gary. 9 more. Nine more. Here's what they look like tomorrow, Jerry. Gary, Larry, and Jerry. Wow. 235, 235, to get 35, 35, 35, 7.5, to get 35, 37.5, 235, 37.5, to get 35, 37.5, 237.5, to get Gary's bid, 237.5, 235, 7.5, to get 7.5, 7.5, Varner, 235, 65. Lambs, thank y'all. Wow, wow, wow. Here's a Westbury cattle. My male says they've had one round of Alpha 7, Virus Shield 6, and Ivamect. They were weaned June the 25th. Weaned June the 25th. Weaned the right, guys. Good black calves right there. They've had all them shots done to them. You hear, guys? Westbury's. You're doing good work right there now. 250, 250, 250, to get 50, to get 2.5, 5, and 55, 7.5, 60, to get 2.5, 5, and 7.5, to get 70, and 270, to get 70, to get 270, to get 70, and 272.5, and 272.5. Here, Brash out, 72.5, and 272.5. Internet's out, 272.5, and 272.5, to get 2.5, 272.5, and a half, to get half. Here, Barnhart, 270, number 31. Here's 11 more. Westbury cattle. Been weaned for almost 60 days. Had all their shots. Steer mates right here. Steer mates, folks. You want a good black steer? Westbury, thou weaned back in June. 60 days, right at 60 days weaned. They've had all them shots. All them shots known to man right there now. They're going to 275, 80, 275, they're going to 80, they're going to 80, they're going to 5, they're going to 285, they're going to 90, 295, they're going to 95, 3, they're going to $3, they're going to 3, they're going to 3, they're going to 3, 05, 305, 10, they're going to 3, 10, 12 and a half, 3, 12 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, they're going to 12 and a half, 3, 10, 12 and a half, they're going to 12 and a half. Sean at 310, number 8. Thank the Westberries, and this will go to Flowers. The Flowers cattle. What's that say? This will be the little end of 3 loads of cattle, guys. The little end of 3 loads of cattle, guys, right here now. They're again at 240, at 240, they're to get 2.5, at 240, 2.5, and 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, at 240, 2.5, at 45, they're to get 7.5, they're to get 50, at 250, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, at 55, they're to get 5, 7.5, they're to get 7.5, 60, at 260, they're to get 2.5, at 260, 2.5, at 260, they're to get 2.5, they're to get 2.5, your man's at 2.5, at 260, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, at a wet 260, put on number 27. 27. You didn't? Okay. Look at these good little heifers. Hillbilly Ranch from Alec, Oklahoma. These cattle are 30 days weaned. They've had her around the shots. They're Angus Hereford Cross. Everyone will be an Angus Hereford Cross from Alex, Oklahoma. My little note here says nice. I guess say $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and $3 now 10. They're gonna 10, 10, 10 out to gate 10, 10, 10, 310, and 310. They're to get 10, 20, and 320. They're to get 20, 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. At 320 now 30, 30, 30. Better get 30. Better get 30. Better get 30. At 330. They're to get 320. They're to get 30. They're to get now 30. They're to get 30. Internet at 320. Derek Moore on the internet. 15 more of them. Number 3. Hereford Angus cattle. My mail says they're nice. They come down Alec, Oklahoma. Hillbilly, you guys here? Any hillbillies here? Guess not. Wow. They got good cattle. Hereford Angus Cross. And they're to get 250, and 250, they're to get 5, and 255, they're to get 5, 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 255, and 255, they're to get 60, they're to get 5, they're to get 70, they're to get 5, they're to get 85, 95, 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, internet shot, $3, and $3, they're to get 3, internet shot, $3, and 295, 3, and 295, 3, jury out, 3, 295, 3, and 295, 3, and 295, 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, Barnhart, 295, put them at 33. Starting on the male cattle off 30 days. Yeah, I guess this is be one of the small ones off of them. More than likely. Probably not one of the big ones. Move them. Nice calf right there, $3 a pound. 310. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 360 a pound, 360 a pound, Buddy 350. Oh, Hillbilly Ranches, going back to the city slicker. From the hillbillies to the city slickers. Right, buddy? Right, buddy? Nothing. Just like talking to Leonard. Look at them white-faced calves. Guys are Hereford Angus Cross. Come down to Alec, Oklahoma. Hillbilly Ranches. Woo! 350 and 355 and 355 and again 60 and 65 and again 5 and again 5 and again 70 and again 5 and 375 80 and again 5 and again 85 90 and 395 and again 95 4 and again 405 and 405 and again 5 and 405 and again 405 and again 405 and 405 and again 405 and again 405 and 405 and again 555 sold $4. That'll be Varner number 141 31. 20 more of them.
They can all look like that.
Yeah, if the whole all of them looked like that in the world, it'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't be no yard outs.
Never would be a yard out. Yeah, you'll help somebody else and try to start them out for them. Here we go right here now. They're going fancy cattle right here now. 275 80 and 275 85 98. They're going 95 3. They're going 305. They're going 10 and 10 3 10. They're going 10 10 15. They're going 15 and 3 10 15. Internet shot 15 and 3 10 15. Don't miss him, guy. 3 10 12 and a half and 3 10 12 and a half and 3 10 12 and a half. They're going 3 10 12 and a half. And Bill, you've been 3 12 and a half. 3 10 12 and a half. Varner 3 10 5 1. Here we go. 40 days wean. There's VJ, guys. There's the 40 days wean. They've had a round of shots. Wow, they're a nice set of cattle. 40 days wean. VJ, I tell you, Matt, you know what he does, the best in the world. Is that all that way? Thought they were bigger. Here we go. Winner to get 250 at 250. To get 50. To get 2.5. To get 250. 2.5. To get 2.5. 250. 2.5 at 255 and 55. To get 7.5. 60. To get 5 and 5. To get 5. To get 70. To get 270 and 265. 75 and 275 and 275. To get 580 and 280. To get 275 80. Brash out 280 at 275 80. 275 80. To get 80. Wagner 275 on the internet. Heifer kid right here now. They're going to same heifers. Same heifers guys been handled the same way. 40 days weaned. I entered to get 230 and 230 to get 30 to get 2.5 to get 230 2.5 5 and 5 to get 7.5 40 and 240 to get 40 to get 42 and a half 42 and a 5 and 45 to get 45 internet shot 245 7.5 at 7.5 yacht Gary 47 and a half 245 47 to 50 at 250 250 internet 2.5 250 2.5 250 2.5 250 2.5 to get 2.5 to get 2.5 to get 2.5. Bryce 250 on internet. 626 and Preg. Yard them out and get the Charlets off. If all the Charlets looked like that, it'd be fun, wouldn't it? Starting on the steers off of them, folks. Vernon does good work. Vernon and Whitney. 2 more steers. They had the same thing them heifers had, guys. All them shots. 40 days. He weaned them 40 days ago. And it's a good little Charlet cross cattle here. 275 80 and 275 85. I get 285 90. I get 95. I get 95 3 and 305. I get 305. I get 510 and 310. I get 15 and 315 20. I get 320. I get 320. I get 5 and 325 325 325 and 325. Top rows out 325 and 325 and 325. I get 25 25 25. I get Mike Treese, 320, number 51. Here's 8 more of them. See ya. Yep, he went Charlet route, didn't he? He went to Charlet route, guys. 40 days wean. Longhorn on one of them. Here we go. Good steers here now. They're getting at 250, at 250, at 250. They're getting 2.5, 5. They're getting 5. They're getting 5, 55. They're getting 7.5, 60. At 2.5, 5. They're getting 65. They're getting 5, 7.5, 70. At 270, 2.5, 5. At 270, 7.5, 80. At 280, 2.5. They're getting 280, 2.5. At 280, 2.5. They're getting 280, 2.5. At 280, 2.5. Here, Mr. Ware. 280, number 27. Thank you, Vernon. Appreciate you, buddy. Here's a Glazier, Loyal, Oklahoma. I bet they'll be nice. They will. Long wean, guys. He weaned them a long time ago. Here's Kyle's. One's got a little bitty bump on her jaw. Looks like it's already busted and everything's done right there. Nice heifer right here now. They're taking that 235 and 235, 7.5, 40 and 240. They're taking that 45. They're taking that 7.5. They're taking 50 and 2.5. They're taking 5. They're taking 55, 57.5 and 55, 7.5, 250, 7.5 and 255, 257.5 and 7.5. They're taking 7.5. Internet 255 and put on who? Bryce number 26. Preg. Nice buy. Here's the what? Deuceman? Jeff Deuceman. 100 days weaned. Covectin 8. Enforce 3. Virus Shield 6. Where were you on them last ones? Where were you on them last ones? Pilot Point. Pilot Point. What? Good cattle right here. Good cattle. Pilot Point, guys. 100 days weaned. Covectin 8. Enforce 3. Virus Shield 6. And 100 days weaned here. 250 at 250. They're to get 2.5. They're to get 5 at 55. They're to get 257.5. They're to get 60. They're to get 2.5 at 2.5. 5 at 265. Internet chat 260. 2.5 at 267.5 at 67.5. 67.5 at 265. 67.5. 68 at 268. 268. Internet chat 268. I got Bill. 268. Barnhart. 268.9. 269. 70, 270 Bryce, 270 and 270. They're to get 70. They're to get 70 at 270. They're to get 70. They're to get 70. Barnhart 269, 25, 25.
How you saying this Linda's name?
Duzman. 16 more of 100 days weaned. Had all their shots. You talk about a set of heifers go to feed right there. They are. Dennis. Would you give 240 for them? Huh? 230, 230, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 230, 2.5, to get 230, 2.5, at 5, to get 235, Bryce out 35, and now $6.08, 38, 40, to get 42, to get 244, and 44, to get 42, 44, and 42, 44, to get 42, 44, and 44, 34, 44, to get 44, Bryce 244, at 244, don't miss them, 44, Bryce out 243, 244. Thielen, 243, 2-1, Prag 'em. Here's steers off of 100 days weaned. Had all them shots I told you. Them good shots. They've had all the good stuff. I do steers right there now. They're going to get 250 and 255 and 255. They're going to 55. They're going to 5. 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 They're going to 255 and 255 now 7.5 and 55 7 and 60 at 260 2.5 5 and 5 7.5. They're going to get 70 at 270. They're going to get 70. They're going to get 267.5 72.5 72.5. Internet 272.5 5 275. Michael 275 272.5 277.5 277. 277.5 internet, 277.5, 277.5 here, 7.5, 7.5. Sean, 275, put on number 8. 3 colored cattle off of them. Jeff, you're awful quiet. Jeff, you're awful quiet. You're quiet. You will? Promise? There you go. 25 little steers off of them, guys. 100 days wean. Pilot point. He should have sold these to his neighbor. $100 days wean. They got the look, guys. One a little low in the back right there now. He probably got a little red Angus in him. He's a good set of steers. Good set of steers right there now. They're to get 250, 250, 250. They're to get 50. They're to get 50. They're to get 50, 250. They're to get 50. They're to get 2.5, 5, 255, 7.5. They're to get 7.5, 250, 7, 60, 260, 258, 60, 262, 262. Bill 2222, 262. Internet shot at 262, 4, and 64, 5, and 65. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get internet shot at 265, 265, 265. Internet's out. 265, 265, and 65 here. We're at 264. Put them on 26. 9 more of them. A lot of stretch in the old cattle right there, folks. A lot of stretch here. 235, 235, 235. They're getting 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. A little color to them now. That's all the 100 days wean now. 235, 235. They're getting 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. I did you bet 235, 25, 225, 227.5, 8, 28, 9, 30, 231. They're to get 2, they're to get 2, they're to get 3, they're to get 33, 232, 33, they're to get 232. 2 and 3, 232 and 3, 4, 234, 5, 235, to get 6, 236, 7, and 7, to get 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 7. Reynolds 236, Reynolds 1. Thank you to the Deuceman. Thank you, guys. Okay, we got a new deal, guys. Briscoe, Texas, Campbell cattle, Heath Campbell. No information. Bristow, Texas. Good Angus heifers. Got some guts to them. The guy liked the cattle really, really, really well. There's just 5 of them. They're pretty nice. And they're going to 240, and 240, they're going to 40, they're going to 40, they're going to 40, and 2.5, 240, 2.5, 45, now 7.5, and 50, and 250, 2.5, 5, 7.5, they're going to 7.5, now 7.5, 60, and 260, they're going to 2.5, they're going to 2.5, they're going to 5, they're going to 60, 2.5. Our Bryce is out, 267.5, and 7.5. Internet's out, 267.5. Internet shot at 7.5, 267.5, 265, and 67.5. Internet's out at 7.5, and 7.5. Barhart 265, 30. Nine more of them. Not today, no. Yeah. No. Folks, this is more than Campbell cattle. No information on them. No information come out of Briscoe, Texas. Pretty nice little steers right there now. They're going to 250, and 250, and 250. They're going to 50, they're going to 52.5. They're going to get 250, 2.5, 55. They're going to get 7.5, 60, 260, 2.5. They're going to get 2.5. Derek out, 2.5, 260, 2.5, 5, and 5. They're going to get 7.5. Yeah, internet 265, 260, 2.5, 7.5, and 7.5. They're going to get 7.5, 265, 7.5, and 265, 7.5, and 7.5. They're going to get 7.5. They're going to get 7.5. So 265 internet. Derek Moore, good job, you Derek.
Hang on, number 22.
Number 22, Derek Moore, 22. Here's 23 more of them. Good little black and Charolais cross cattle. One of them is zero to tail. One has no tail. Pretty little steer right there now. Hold a steer with no tail if you want to. If I can't fix him. Nice steers right here. Enter to get now 250, 250, 250. Enter to get 2.5, 250, 2.5. Enter to get 2.5. Enter to get 250, 2.5, 250, 2.5. Enter to get 2.5, 5, 55, 7.5, 60, 260, 2.5, 260, 2.5. Now 5, 265. Enter to get 7.5. Enter to get 7.5. Internet 267.5, 267.5. Internet's out 270 and 70 and 270. Internet's in 267.5, 70 and 270, to get 70 and 70, to get 70, to get 70, to get 70. So 267.5. Derek Moore, put on a number. Derek Moore number. 22. Can I take about 20 off that one, Derek? Can I take 20 off the one that has no tail? No. I can't believe you said me no. Can't believe you told me no, Derek. How about 30? Nice heifer right here. Here's a web heifer. No info, and she's thin. 230, 235, 235, better get 35, 35, 35, 235, 235, better get 40, better get 40, better get 40, better get 40, better get 45, 245, 50, 250, better get 50, better get 245, 50, 245, 50 here, everybody Jerry, 245, put them on 3. Yep. There's next into them, guys. Whoever's come up there. Webb's up there at Pawnee. Hey, better look. Up there at Pawnee, guys. 235, 235, 235, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 235, 235, 5, 35, 35, 35, 35, 235, 30, 230, 30, 30, 1, 231, 1, 2, 232, 3, 233, internet chat, 233, 232, 3, 232, 33, 3, so 232, Jerry, 22, Pragum, Jerry, 22, and Pragum. Where are you, Dennis? How do you know? You don't know everything. Little male cattle right there off them guys. Hey, little male cattle right there now. Enter to get 250, 250, 250, enter to get 2.5, 250, enter to get 2.5, enter to get 250, 2.5, enter to get 55, 55, enter to get 50, 2.5, enter to get 7.5, and 7.5, enter to get 60, enter to get 2.5, and 2.5, get your man 260, 2.5, and 2.5 here, 5, and 265, and 5, 7.5, enter to get 7.5, 7.5, internet 7.5, 70, and 270, enter to get 70, enter to get 70, to get 70, to get 70, and 70 fish, you bid 70, and 70 to get 70, so 267.5 internet. Wagner on the internet. For the Webbs. Pawnee, Oklahoma, been running in a different pasture. Thin flesh bulls, ideal cutting bulls right there at $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, and 210, 15 now 20, to get 5, to get 30, to get 30, at 225, 7.5, now 30, 232.5, 232.5, 5, 237.5, 237.5, 235, 37.5, 37.5, Varner, 235, 3. Little hiccup, just a little hiccup in the market. Throw it away, please. Heifer calves, guys. Yeah, honey. 45 looking for her mama. Tanner Butte. 60 days they've been weaned. That one's just hungry. They've had 2 rounds of shots. They've never had an implant. Tanner Butte. Down there, Minko. Minko, we're going to get 250, and 250, they're going to 5, and 255, they're going to 55, they're going to 5, they're going to 5, they're going to 5, they're going to 5, they're going to 5. Better than that, boys. 255, 5 out the gate, and 255, and 255, they're going to 55, they're going to 5, they're going to 5, they're going to 5, they're going to 5. Jerry, 250, put them on 3. 3 more of them. Minko. Here's some more of them, guys. Here's some more of them. 30 days. 60 days wean, guys. 60 days wean down there. Minko, and they're going to have 210, and 210, they're going to have 12 and a half, they're going to get 210, 12 and a half, and 210, 12 and a half out the gate, 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half, 22 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 32 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, and 37 and a half, and 7 and a half, 40, and 242 and a half, 5, and 47 and a half, 50, and 252 and a half, and 2 and a 5, and 55, 7 and a half, and 57 and a half, and 57 and a half. Internet's in 257 and a half, and 7 and a half. So 255 on the internet. Wagner on the internet. Hey, look at these good little heifers. Steers. Steers off of them, guys. Tanner Butte down there at Minko. 60 days wean. 60 days wean. Little old hairballs. Guess I shouldn't say that anymore, though. Little old thin flesh steers. $3 now 10, and $3.10, and $3.10. He weaned them now. 3.10 and 10. They're to get now 3.10, 20. They're to get now 20, 30. They're to get 30, 40, and 3.40. They're to get 3.35, 40, and 3.35, 40. They're to get 3.35, 40, and 3.45, and 45, 50. They're to get 3.55. They're to get 55, and 60, and 3.65, and 5. They're to get 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 3.65, and 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. We're at 360. We're at number 20. Kind of reminds you of his dad, doesn't it, Jerry? Same cattle, guys. 60 days wean. Minko, Oklahoma. $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and 3. They're going to 10, and $3 now 10. They're going to have 10 to buy. They're going to get 10, 10, 10, 3, 10, 3, 10, 3, 10, and 10. They're going to get $3 and 10. They're going to get 15. They're going to have 20, and 3.25, and 25, 30, and 3.30. They're going to get 5. They're going to get 35. They're going to get 3.35, and 3.35. They're going to get 5. They're going to get 5. Same way. 3.30. Same way. 3.30. There's 4 more of them. Look at there. Cute. $2 now 10, and $2.10 are wean. 2.10, 2.10. They're to get 10, 20. They're to get 20, 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 40. They're to get 50, 60, and 70. They're to get 270. Internet's out 80, and 290. They're to get 90. Gets internet 3, and 3. They're to get $3. They're to get 3. They're to get 3. They're to get 3. They're to get 3, and 3. All you inside boys are out 3, and 293. They're to get 3. They're to get 3. So 290 internet. Derek Moore. Derek Moore. I like that deal, Derek. Number, Derek. 3.
Same deal.
It is?
Yep.
Sure?
Yep.
Same deal, just kind of out of a different bull. $2. $2 bill. 2.10. 2.10, they're to get now 10 to buy them, they're to get 10, 2.10, and 2.10, they're to get 20, and 2.20, 30, they're to get 40, they're to get 40, they're to get 2.30, 40, and 50, and 2.50 a pound, 2.60 a pound, 2.70 a pound, and 2.70, they're to get 70, they're to get 70, they're to get 70, 70. Jerry, 2.60, put them on number 5. Thank you, Tanner. Let's go to Colgate Coffee, is that right? Joel Coffee down there at Colgate. It shows, man, wean forever, ever, ever. Look at here, guys. Ready to go outside for you. Ready to go back to your pasture. Here to get 250 and 250. Here to get 5 and 55. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. 255 and 255. Here to get 55. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. Here to get 5. Now 60 and 260 and 5. 265, 70 and 270. Here to get 70 and 70. Here to get 70. So 265. Dale. 265. Put them on Dale. No. Wean forever. Wean forever. 235 and 235 and 235. Vertical 35, 35, 35, 35, 235 and 235. Vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5, vertical 5 and 235 here, 35 there. Vertical 35. $2 a pound. 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 235. Now 40. You know I was there a while ago, don't you? 235, 40. You don't care, do you? 240, 235, 40, 235, 40, 40. Jerry, 235, 22. Okay, nice little heifers. Big scale and Hitchcock. Big scale Hitchcock. Good little wet face heifers right there now. They're to get that 240 and 240. They're to get that 40. They're to get that 40, 40, 40. They're to get that 2.5. They're to get 240, 2.5. And 240, 2.5. They're to get 2.5. They're to get 2.5. 40, 2.5. And 240, 2.5. They're to get 2.5. They're to get 2.5. Here, Warner, 240. 90. Lame. Yep, you brought some black steers in here. Hey guys, thanks again.
Thanks, Gary.
Bob, please. Thank you. We're going to stay in Hitchcock, I think, wasn't it? We didn't have any information on. Be two more drafts. These big scales, no information on, but they're good little heifers, I bet you. Yes, they are. Good, good, good heifers. They could be weaned, Dennis. Dennis, I'm talking to you. No, I know, but they could be the way they look. Yeah, there you go. Good job, Dennis. I speak right up here. You're to get at 230 and 230 and 230. You're to get at 30. You're to get 30. You're to get 2.5. You're to get 230, 2.5, 5 and 235, 7.5. You're to get 7.5, 35, $6 and 35, 36, 35, 36. Here, 36 internet and 235, $6 and $6 to get at 600 to get at 600 to get feeling 235. Put them on number 21. Prag 'em. Thank you. You can't hear me in here? No. No.
They look weird to you?
Yeah, they look weird to me. Good job. Here's little bulls right here now. Little bull, yeah, good bulls right there. Hitchcock bulls here, 250 and 250 and 250 to get 2.5, to get 250, 2.5 and 250 to get 2.5, to get 250, 2.5 and 55 to get 7.5 and 7.5 to get 7 and 60 and 2.5 to get 2.5 to get 2.5 and 5 to get 65. Internet's out 260, 2.5 and 5. Internet's out 260, 7.5 and 7.5, 70 and 270. Internet's out 270 and 70 to get 70 to get 70. Sean at 260, 7.5. Number 8. More good bulls. More good bulls. I didn't say where they open. I said they weaned it. I entered again at $2 now, 2.5, at 2.5, 5, and 2.05, 7.5, 10, at 2.10, 12.5, 15, and again at 15, at 2.15, 17.5, 22.5, 5, at 7.5, 30, and again 30, and again 30, and again 30, internet's out 30, at 2.30, and again at Sean's out 232.5, at 232.5, 232.5, 232.5 here, so 230 internet. Derek Moore on the internet, good bull. 22. Male Dennis. I farmed right next to you, Derek, all day yesterday. Yours still look better than mine. Well, there's 60 plus days weaned, John tells me. They've been turned out on grass up at Cashin. They'll follow a feed truck wherever you want to go. They've been turned out on grass all summer. Ideal. They've been following that feed truck, but they didn't stop and feed them a whole lot, did they?
Not a whole lot, no. They will follow.
They'll follow it. I don't blame them. I don't blame them right here now. They're to get 275.80 and 275. They're to get 80. They're to get 75, 80, 280, 285, and 285. They're to get 285. They're to get 85. They're to get 85. Ideal, guys. At 285, 90, and 295. They're to get 95, 3 at $3 here. 3. They're to get $3. Internet, you're out. 3 at 295, 3, 5 and 305. They're to get 310. Internet, 310 and 305, 10. They're to get 305, 10. They're to get 305, 10 and 305, 310, 305, 5. 10 and 310, 30 10, Mike Treese, 305, 50, you bet you. Here's some more of them. I'll wean forever. They'll follow the feed truck. You got a feed truck, Mike? Okay, I put some feed in it right here. Here we go now. Nice cattle here at 265, at 265, at 5, at 570, at 270, at 5, at 80, 85, at 285, 90, and 290, at 90, at hesitated. You don't get 90 here, 90, and 285, at 90, 285, at 90, and 290, at 285, at 90, at 90, at 90. We're at 285, we're at 27. Some more of them, John. Ooh, good little OKS guys. And hungry. They're to get 250, at 250, they're to get 2.5, at 250, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, 5, at 55, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, 60, at 265, they're to get 5, 70, they're to get 275, at 75, 80, they're to get 285, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, 285, 85, 90, at 295, they're to get 95, they're to get 3, at $3 internet, $3 internet, $3 internet, 295, 3, at $3 internet, here, 3, there, over to Sean, 295, put on number 8. Chad, thank you very much. John tells you. Here's a good set of black females with a long tail also. Long tail also. Blackwell cattle from Wayne, Oklahoma. Mr. Blackwell from Wayne, Oklahoma. I'm going to tell you, they've been weaned for a while. You got anything, Will? Blackwell. He's usually here, isn't he? He's usually here, right here now. They're a little thin, fresh branded, or not fresh, old branded cattle. Old brand. Here, they're to get 250 and 5 at 255. They're to get 560. They're to get 85 and 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 570. They're to get 270. They're to get 5 at 275 and 275. Rice out 275 and 275. They're to get 272 and 5. 272 and 5. Lyle, you're out. Larry out 272 and 5 at 277 and a half. 277 of 80 and 280. Larry. 280. Larry's out 280. 277 and a half. 80 at 280. Watch Larry now. 280 at 277 and a half. Better give 80. Better give 80. Better give 80. Better give 80. Barnhart 277 and a half. 25. Here's some more of them. Long tail, long tail heifers right there now. 230, and 230 to get 2.5, to get 230, to get 30, to get 32.5, 32.5, 35, 35, 35, 7.5, to get 740, to get 240, and 240 to get 240, to get 237.5, 40, and 40 to get 37.5, you get 40, and 40, Dennis, 237.5. 16 in Pregnant, please. That get you out? Music to my ear. Music to my ear. Here comes 7 of the steer mates. Mr. Blackwell right there, just like them heifers. Just like them heifers now. $3 now, 5, and $3 now, 5, and I get 305, and I get now 305, and I get 305, and $3 now, 5, and I get 305, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5, 7.5, and 305, 7.5, 305, 7.5, and I get 7.5, 10, and 310, and I get 7.5, 10, 12.5, and 312.5, 15, and 315, and I get 17.5, 20, and 320, and I get now 20, and I get now 20, and I get 20, Mike Treese, 317.5, 50. That's what they look like tomorrow, Mike. Perfect condition right there, the Blackles. And 265, 70, and 265, 7.5, and 265, and I get 7.5, and I get 7.5, 7.5, and 265, 7.5, and 7.5, and I get 7.5, 267.5, 266, 8, 268, 268, 268. Bush, you looking? 268, 268, 266, 8. Barnhart, 266, 35. Hey, I got a little lightweight heifer cast. Little heifer, move my Antonio. There you go. Bob, you and Dennis looking. There's that male. Cameron cattle from Dover, Oklahoma. Mark Cameron. There he is. Mark, you do a good job. You do a good job. They weaned? Nope, right off the cow. Right off the cow, 250, and 250, to get 60, and 260, to get now, to get now, 60, and 260, 70, and 270, to get 70, 80, to get 280, 280, 280, and 80, to get Larry's in, 280, and 270, give 80, 270, give 80, 270, give 80, and 270, would give 80, to get 280, 280, 280, and 80, 90, and 290, 290, 290, Larry, 290, 3, and $3 a pound. Now 10, 310, 310, Larry, 310, and 10, to get now 10, to get now 10, to get 10, to get 20, and 310, 15, 315, 315, to get 15, to get sold, 310, put them on Wagner, 310 on the internet. Hey, Mark, you got good stock, man. Good stock. There's some more of them. Fancy. They had it over to Dover, Oklahoma. 250, 250, 250, to get 2.5, to get 250, 2.5, 250, 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, 5, 255, to get 60, and 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, 70, and 270 internet now 5, 275, to get 5, looked away 80, and 280 internet, 280, 280, 280 internet's out, 285, 285, 285, to get 5, 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 285, 285, to get 5, to get 5, 285 here. Wagner, 280 on the internet. Wagner. Mark's boy calves right there, a little steer calves right there. Already worked? Yeah. Mark already castrated them up there at Dover. There's some cattle ready to go for you, boys. They'll be ready in a few days. $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, to get now 10 to buy them, to get 10, 10, 10, 310, and 310, 20, and 320, 30, to get 30, 40, to get 40, to get 40, 50, and 350 a pound, and 340, 350, 340, 350 here, 50 here, fish, 340, oh. 13 more of them. Hey, you'll like this deal. You will like this deal. Been castrated, everything's done to them. They come up there at Dover, Oklahoma, at 280, at 280, they're taking at 2.5, they're taking 282.5, they're taking 282.5, at 280, they're taking at 2.5, 282.5, 282.5, 82.5, 7.5. 87.5, 90, and 290, 292.5, vertical 92.5, 295, at 95, 7.5, 3, at $3 here, 3, to get 297.5, 3, and 2.5, 302.5, 5, and 305, 10, 310, 10, 10, 10, 305, 10, 305, 10, internet yacht, at 305, 10, and 305, vertical 10, vertical 10, 10, 10, 305, 10, 10, Mike 305, Mike 50. Same cattle. You lied to him, Gary. Here we go. You lied to him, Gary. I entered to get a 250 out of boy. 250, entered to get 5, just like Donald. 250, 250, entered to get 250, entered to get 5, 255, entered to get 55, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, 255, entered to get room here, boys. 255, 255, 255, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, entered to get 5, feeling. 255. Mike Trees one enough for Wayne. Gary told him any bit on. Two little lightweight heifers off of them, guys. Little pee-wee heifers. 275.80 at 275, but to give 80 at 280, to get 275, 80, to get 280, 280, 285 at 285, to get 285, to get 285, to give 85 at 285, to get 285. Anybody else here? 285 at 90 and 290 internet, 295 at 95, to get 295 at 95, to get 95, 95. Derek Moore, 290. Derek Moore, put him on number 23, 22. 22. There's some more little heifers off of them right here. Just 3. Okay, just 3, Derek. Thank you. Little crossbred heifers off a deal right here. $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and $2 now 10. They're to get $2 now 10. They're to get 10, 10, 10, 20, and 220. They're to get 30. They're to get 230, and 235, and 35, 40. They're to get 245. They're to get 45. They're to get 45, and 45. The live people are out. 245, and 245, and 245. They're to get 45, 45, 45, 45. So 240. That'll be Derek Moore. Put him on number 3. Yes. Well, they're hit. They're hammered. 6 more steers, guys. 6 more little steers off of them now. You saw them good heifers. Here's the steer mates. Steer mates here, 275, 80, and 275, but to give 80, to give 75 now, 80 here, 80 there, but to give 80, and 275, 80, to give 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 80, and 275, 80, to give 5, and 285, and 285, and to get 285, and to get 285, and 285, 90, and 290, to give 85, and 90, and 285, 90, and 285, 90, to get Larry's in, 290, and 90, Larry's in, 290, 285, to give 90, to get 90, Larry Wagner, 285 Wagner. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Here's Marty. Here's another one of them Doverites. These have been weaned for a long, long time, my mail says. Marty Ireland. Little heifer calves right here now. They're to get 275, 80, and 275, they're to give 80, and 280, they're to get 75, 80, they're to give 80, 90, they're to get 280, 90, wean long time, 280, 90, and 280, 90, 280, 93, and $3 now, 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 3, they're to get 290 now, 3, and 293, Derek Sin, 290, you'll get 3, Derek Sin, 293, and 3, now 3, they're to get 293, and 293, they're to get 3, they're to get Derek Moore, 290, put them on 3, 290, Derek Moore, put them on 3. Hey, there's 2 good steers. 2 good steers. Long time weaned. Come up there at Dover, Oklahoma. Look at the bodies on them, folks. Look at the bodies here. $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and $3 now 10, and get 10, and get 10, and get 10, and get 10, and 10, and get $3 now 10, and 310 out the gate 10, and get 10, and get 10, 15, and 15, and now 20, and 320 internet 320, and don't miss them 320, and 315 now 20, and 315 now 20, and again 20, and again now 20, and again now 20, and 20, and again Varner 315 number 39. One more heifer off him. Dover. You know where Dover is, Anton? There's a heifer now. She's been weaned a while. Just a big heifer off him. Just a big heifer off him. $2 now, 2.5, and 202.5, and 202.5, 5, and 205, 10. There to get 12.5, 15. There to get 212.5, 15, and 17.5. There to get 17.5, 20, and 22.5, 5, 225. There to get 222.5, and 222.5, 25, 25, 25. So 222.5. Chairman number 6. Pin them together. Pin them together. You want her checked? Yeah, check her. Thank you, Mr. Ireland. I guess maybe still going on. Little red heifer. These cattle have been turned out. They've been turned out. They've had all their shots. They've been turned out a long time. Nice little heifer right there now. They're going to get 235, 40, 235. They're going to get 40, 240. They're going to 35, 40, 40, 40. They're going to 40. They're going to 45, and 45 now 50, 250 now 5. They're going to get 55. They're going to get 55, 55, 55, 60, 255 now 60, 255 now 60. They're going to 55 now 60, 260. They're going to 55, 60, and 60. They're going to get a Wagner 255. Put her on Wagner. Three of the steer mates. Boys, there's little steers. They've been turned out a long time, and it shows right there now. They're green as you can make one. As green as you can make one right there. Ideal set of grays and the steers. They're going to have 250, and 255, and 255. They're going to have 55, 60. They're going to have 5. They're going to have 70. They're going to get 270, and 275, and 275. They're going to get 75, 80, and 280. Boys are out now. 280, and 275, 80, and 275, 80, 275, 80. We're going to give 80. We're going to give 80. We're at 275. We're at number 27. That'll help. Here's 4 more of them, guys. They're just hunting a home. On the home, 250, 250, 250, they're going to have 50, they're going to have 50, they're going to get 50, they're going to get 50, 250, they're going to have 50 to buy them, but they get 50, 250, they're going to get better steers here, 250, 250, they're going to get 35, 40, 235 is house, 7.5, 235, 7.5, 35, 37.5, 35, 37.5, 7.5, they're going to get 7.5, they're going to get 7.5 here, Thielen, 235, number 8. Hey, look at these good heifers. The green, the old grass running out of them, guys. Anadarko, Edwards, Weber and Edwards. From Anadarko, that old green stuff's running out of them, guys. I'm going to tell you, they're long weaned. Nice heifers from down Anadarko. 240, 240, they're going to have 2.5, 5, 240, 2.5, 45, 40, 2.5, 45, 45, 47.5, 50, 250, they're going to get 50, 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 247.5, 50, 250, they're going to get 50 to buy, they're going to get 47.5 now, 50, 250, they're going to get 47.5, 50, and 50, they're going to have 50, they're going to get 50, Bryce, 247.5, Bryce, put them on number 26 and preg them. Six more of the steers from Anadarko. 6 the steers right there from Anadarko. They're green. Look at that old long tail now. They're looking for a home looking for a home. Better to get 250 and 60 and 250. Better to get now 60 and 255. Better to get now 55. Better to get and Darko 255 and 255. Better to get now 55. Better to get 5. Better to get 5. Better to get 5. Better to get 5 at 255 now 60. Better to get 5 and 65 up high and 265 up high and 265. I got Bush in 262 and a half. 262 and a half. Toss thinking more money. 262 and a half. 262 and a half here. We're at 260. Put them on 27. 27. Resell the Hereford. You get more like your daddy every day. And that ain't all bad, Billy. There's a good Hereford steer, folks. Come down to Anadarko. Hurry, 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 hurry. Good job, Dennis. Anton, did you see that? Woo. No, you can handle it. Long tail Hereford steer, you don't sell him, don't you, Butch? I entered again out, 250, and 250, and 250, entered again out 50, entered again out 50, entered again 50, and 250, entered again out 50. Here's a good steer here, 235, and 235, 235. 235, 235, did you? And 35, 7.5, and 35, 7.5, 40, and 240 to get 2.5, 245, 240, 2.5, 240, 2.5, 240, 2.5, to get 5, to get 5, fish, 240, 2.5, 5. Pin them with the zeros. Pin them all with the zeros. Thank you. Try to get them horns off before you bring you back. I thought you might. I thought you might. There's 3 more of the steers come with them now. Anadarko, Oklahoma. A little more horn. Got a lot of body though. A lot of body and a little horn here. They're going to have $2 now, 2.5, at 2.5, better get 2.5, better get 5, better get 5, better get 5, better get 5, 2.05, at 2.5, 5, better get 2, 7.5, better get 10, at 2.10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20. They're mixed now, 2.20, at 2.17.5, 20, at 2.17.5, 20. They're going to have 20 champion, 2.17.5, 0. Male, Dennis. 1 bull. Hi, Coy. Hi, Jason. Hi, George. Hi, Antonio. Antonio. When one comes in, shut the door, okay? There you go. Good job, Bill. Did you steer? Huh? Male. The same cattle. $1.50. Same cattle. $1.50, $1.50, $1.55, $155, $60, $165, $70, $5, $80, $5, $95, $2, $5, $10, and $2.10, $15, $15, $20, $2.25, $25, $2.25, and $2.25, $2.25, $30, $2.30. 230, 225, 30, and 30 to get 30 to get 30. Jerry, 225, Jerry, 22. Good job, Georgie. There's a sister. There's a sister, $2, $2.50, and $2.50, and $2.05, to get $2.25, to get $5, to get $5, to get $5, to get $5, and $2.25, $5, $2.25, $5, $2.25, to get $5 now, $7.50, $10, and $2.10, $12.50, $15, to get $15, and $2.12.50, to get $15, to get $15, to get $15, and $15 to Ricardo, $2.12.50. No Prager. Steers again. No preg. I'm sorry. Here's Jake Smith's cattle, George. Somebody told me about these. Jake Smith cattle are 90 days weaned. 90 days weaned. Good set of steers right there. And they're getting at 235, 235, they're getting at 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 235, at 235, they're getting 5, they're getting 7.5, and 40, they're getting 40, they're getting 40, they're getting 40, they're getting 40. Wing now, 240, at 237.5, 40, and 238 now, 40, they're getting 238, 40, and 238, 40, they're getting at 40, they're getting at 40, they're getting at 40, and 40, they're getting sold 238, feeling number 7. Woo, little pee-wees. Little pee-wees, 350 and 350, to get 60, 70, 370 and 370, to get 360 now, 70 and 80, to get 90, to get $94 a pound, 10 and 10, to get 410 and 10, to get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but to get 10, but to get 20 and 410, 20 and 410, 20 and 10, 20, to get 20, to get a fish, 410. There's 3 little heifers. Move them. Little light heifers out here, long tail heifers out here now. They're to get 240, and 240, they're to get 2.5, and 240, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, they're to get 240, 2.5 here, they're to get 5, and 240, 2.5, 240, 2.5, and 245, 240, 2.5, 40, 2.5 here, now 50, and 250 brass, and 250, now 5, 255, they're to get 5, now 5, now 60, and 260, now 5, and 5, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, now 70, they're to get 270, and 270, they're to get 70, they're to get 70, they're to get 70, Wagner, 265, Wagner, 265, Wagner. Okay, here's some old feeding heifers right here, guys. You want to feed a while. They got pretty good guys right here now. They're getting at 220, at 220, they're to get 2.5, at 220, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, they're to get 220, 2.5, at 220, they're to get 2, they're to get 2, they're to get 2. Move them, at 220, 2.5, they're to get 2.5, at 220, 2.5, 220, 2.5, 220, 2.5, 225, 7.5, 227.5, 225, 7.5, 225, 7.5, 227.5, they're to get 7.5. So 225, put them on 5, 6, put them on 6, Chamlin 6. Yep. All right, here, they're to get steers here. Male, Dennis, please. I know you're trying to move them. Same deal. Okay, little poor steers. Little poor steers right here now. 235, 235, 235, everything at 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 235, 235, everything at 35, 35, 35, 35, $2. Now 10, $2, 10, 210, 210, little old thin cattle, $2, and $2 here, 2 there, but to get 2, better 2, better get 2, better get 2, and $2 here, 2 there, but to get 2, better 2, better get 2, and 2 to get 2, to get $1 a pound, $10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1.90, $1.90. Ricardo, 180. Number 2. What do you get here? Heifer cattle right here now. They're a little bit sore-footed, guys. They're a little bit, when they walk out there, a little bad. Not too bad, though. Look at that heifer run. I entered to get that $2, now 10, and 210, and 210, entered to get that 10, entered to get 10, a whoop on guys right here, 210, and 210, entered to get that 10 to buy, entered to get 10, entered to get 10, entered to get 10, and $2 now 10, entered to get 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 $1, 210, and 210, and 210, entered to get that 10 to buy, entered to get 10, 10, you been 210, 20, 220, 220 internet, 220, 230, 230, 230, 240, 240 internet, 240, 240, 250, 250, 250, 250, now 50, 250, Wagner, 240 on the internet. Me either. One of them's got warts and one of them's lame. One of them's got warts and one of them's lame. $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, $1.50. Enter to get a 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 60. Add 1.5, ziggity, add 1.5, 60. Enter to get a ziggity pound, ziggity, $1.60, $1.50, $1.60, $1.50, $1.60, $1.50, $1.60. Enter to get a ziggity, Ricardo, $1.50. 2. A little bit lame, maybe. Just one of them a little soft-footed. The rest of them fine, guys, just a little soft-footed. She'll be there. A good set of heifers right here now. Under to get 210, and 210, and 210. Under to get that 10, 10, 10. Under to get that 210. Under to get that 10 to buy. Under to get 10, 10, 10. Green heifers here, 2, 10, and 210. Under to get that 10 to buy. Under to get 10, under to get 10, under to get 10, under to get 10, under to get 210, and 10. Under to get 10 to buy. Under to get 10, 10. $2, 2.5. 202.5, 202.5, 202.5. I'm behind, boys. 202.5, and 202.5, and 202.5. I get 2.5, I get 202.5, and 2.5 here, 2.5. I get $1.50, $1.60, $1.60, $1.70, $1.70. You're out of here. $1.70. Behind, 170, 160, 70, 170. Sold 160, Antone. Male. Hey, here's a good set of steers. Green, green, green. McNeil cattle right here from Mulhall. They're all one raising. They've all had a round of shots. They've been on grass all summer, George. And they are good rascals right there, guys. Mulhall, either to get 260, 260, either to get 2.5, 5, 7.5, to get 7.5, to get 7.5, 70, 270, 2.5, 5, to get 7.5, to get 80, and 2.5, 80, 2.5, 87.5, to get 7.5, 87.5, nice kind, 287.5, 285, 7.5, 285, 7.5, 85, 87.5, to get 7.5 here, Varner, 285, Varner, put him a number 55, 551. Six good, either to get 6 good heifers right there. 900 to get, here we go, either to get, $900 to get $1.75, 80, $1.75, $1.80, and 175, 180, 180, 180, 175, 180, and 175, to give 80, 180, 180, 180, 180 here, to give 80, 50, $1.50, $1.50, $1.50 a pound, $1.50 a pound here, 50, to get 50, to get who get 50, $1.50, $1.50, to get 50, to get 50, to get $1 a pound, 110. 110, 120, 120, 30, 130 internet, 130, 130, 40, 140, 140, 50, 150, 150, internet's in, 150, 150, internet's in, 60, 160 internet, now you're out, 160, 170, 170, 160, 70, 160, 70. Derek Moore, 160, put him on number 3. Little crossbreds. Like 42 pounds. Oh. Okay, little cattle here. $1 a pound, $1.10, and 110, to get 110, to get 110, to get 110, and 110, to get $1 now, 10, 110, 110, 110, 110, and 100 now, 10, 100 now, 10, 100 now, 10, to get 10. Where are we guys? 110. Did you bid at 100, to get 100, to get 100, to get 100, to get 100? $50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90, 100. I'll be dang. 100, 90, and 100. 90 and 100. 90 and 100. Warner, 90 cents. 19. Anton. Hail Dixon. Wade Davis's heifer. $1.50, $1.60, $1.50 now 60, $1.60, it'll get 70, it'll get $1.70, $1.70, 80, $1.80, $1.80, 90, 192, and $2 here, internet chat, 210, and 210 now 20, 220 internet, 230, and 230, it'll get 30, it'll get 220 now 30, 220, 30, it'll get 20, it'll get 30. My man now, Dennis, 220, 30, 220, 30, 230, so 220, put him on Bryce. 2.5. John who? John Biggs, Lame, George, Sutter. $1.50, $1.60, $1.70, $1.70, it'll get 70, it'll get 80, 180, 190, now $2 now 10, 210, 10, 10, 210, and 210, it'll get $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, it'll get 10, it'll get 10, it'll get 10, it'll get 10, and 10, Ricardo, $2 a pound. Haynes 54, Charlotte, you gonna sell her, sir? Sell him, sir? Yes. At the good steer he is 275.80 at 275 at the 80 just steer over my other cattle guy 275 at 275.80 280.90 293 at $3 now 10 310 310 15 at 15 310 there to get 15 and 310 there to get 15 there to get 15 Mike Treese 310 5-1. What are you putting down, Dennis? What are you putting down? Liquid? No tail off a derrick. $1.50, $1.60, $1.60, $1.70, $1.80, $1.90, 2 and 10, 210, 20, 30, to get 230, and 220, 230, get your man, 230, and 220, 230, 220, 230, 220, 230, so 220, Chamlin, put them on 0. What's it? It's none of my business. What's it cost? $50 an acre. Two bulls off Barnhart, 32. We'll see. What did he bring first time? 250 and 75, and get 2.5, and get 255, and get 65, 70, and get 70 and 270, and get 65, 70 and 270, and get 65 now, 75 and 275, 80, 85, and get 5, and get 5, and get 90 and 290, and get 290, internet shot 290 and 285, 90, 285, 90, 285, and get 90, and get 90, and get 90, and get 90. Mike Treese 285, put him on 5-1. Okay, it'll be Haynes cattle off of Wade Davis. Not too bad, guys. $2.10 and $2 now 10 and $2 now 10. They're to get that 2. They're to get that 10. They're to get that 210 and 20 and 210 20. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 225 225 225 30 and 230 235 235 235 and 40 240. They're to get 35. They're to get 40 235 40. They're to get 40. They're to get 40. Fish 235 5. Ollie Gate, good little steers right here. They were weaned, wasn't they? Yeah, 100 days wean. 100 days waiting on right here. Just a colored cattle off of them. They're getting at 260. At 260, they're getting at 5. At 265, they're getting at 5. They're getting 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 5. 265. At 265, they're getting at 5. They're getting 5. They're getting 5. They're getting 5. 50. At 250. At 250, they're getting 50. They're getting 50. They're getting 50. They're getting 50. At 250, they're getting at 50. They're getting 50. Better deal, guys. 250. At 250, they're getting at 50. They're at 225. 225. 225. 30. At 230. Now 5. Now 40, 245, 245, 245, 245, 245, to get 5, to get 5, Warner, 240, 5-7. White. Charlotte's off of Haynes. Who's with it? Off of Wade Davis's cattle. Were they weaned, Billy? No. They're nice stock gold right here now. They're to get 250, at 250, at 250, they're to get 5, at 255, they're to get 55, they're to get 60, at 265, they're to get 5, they're to get 5, internet's out, 265, 70, at 275, at 275, 80, at 280, internet's out, 280, at 280, they're to get 85, they're to get 285, they're to get 285, 90, at 290, internet, 290, they're to get 90, they're to get 90, they're to get 90, they're to get 90, at 285, they're to get 90, they're to get 90, they're to get 90, they're to get 90 here, 90. Mike Treese, 285, 5-0, 5-1, 5-1. Little black females. Good little black females. Heath Campbell, guys, right here. They'll say they're lame. Not very lame. Sell them, George. $1.50, $1.60, $1.60, $1.70, $1.70, $1.80, $1.80, $1.90, $1.2, and $2 here, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2, and $2 here, $192, $192, $192, and $2 here, $1 chef out, $2, and $190, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2, Ricardo, $190. Be the Cowling cattle weaned for 45 days. Come out of Gainesville, Texas. Show you a nice set. Nice set out of Gainesville, Texas. I entered again at 235 and 235, 7.5, and I get 7.5, 40, and 240, 2.5, and I get 42 and a half, 42 and a half, and 240, and I get 2.5, 5, and 245, 50, and I get 55, and I get 55, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5, and 250 now, 5, and 255, and 255, 255, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5, and I get 5. Wagner, 250 on the internet. 45 more days. 45 days wean. Cowling cattle right there, the Cowling. Good feeding heifers right there. At 220, at 220, to get 2.5, at 220, 2.5, at 225, 7.5, 30, to get 30, to get 2.5, to get 5, to get 35, 7.5, at 7.5, 40, to get 40, to get 40. You both out of pair. And 40, 237.5, 40. Gary, you're out. 240, 237.5, 40. Y'all out. 238, 39, 40. You're riding a Shetland, he said. 240, 239, 40. Dennis, 239, 16 preg. Perfect. I like it. Here's steers off of. No bulls, steers, Dennis. You already been out and looked at them, hadn't you? Steers off of them, folks. 45 days. Look like they've been weaned 100. Well, they got a good belly on them, guys. They're healthy as they can be. 45 days weaned. 250 and 250, to get at 2.5, at 250, 2.5, to get 2.5, 5, to get 55, 7.5, to get 7.5, at 250, 7.5, yeah, Bush, 7.5, 60, at 260, 2.5, to get 2.5, at 5, to get 60, 2.5, at 260, 2.5, to get 5, at 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, 65, 65, 65, so 260, 2.5, 27, 27 on where it. Couple singles off that deal. See sound? Yeah, he's a steer. Good steer right here now. $2 now 10 and $2 now 10. Better get that 10 to buy. Better get 10. Better get 10. Better get 10. 210 and 210. Better get that 10 to buy. Better get 10. Better get 10. Better get 10 and 210. Better get 10. Did you bid? 210. 215. 220. 17.5, 220. Reynolds, 217.5, 1. There's just another odd off of them, guys. 275.80 and 275. Better give 80. Better get 275. Just too little. 275.80 and 275.80. 98. Better get 293 and $3 now 10. Better get 20. Better get 320. Better get 310 20 and 310 23 10 320 310 320. So 310. Put on Mac Trees 5-1. Let's go to Loyal, Oklahoma. FM cattle. FM cattle. 90 days wean. 90 days wean. We still got some good cattle, guys. 90 days wean from Loyal at 250 at 250 35 at 255 at 55 at 55 at 55 at 55 at 255 at 55 60 at 265 at 55 at 55 internet yacht 70 at 270 at 65 now 70 at 265 now 70 at 265 now 70 and 70 at 70 at 70 at 70. So 265 Wagner on the internet. Steer cattle off of them, folks. 90 days weaned. 90 days weaned. There's a good set of turnout steers here. 250 at 250 and 5 at 255 at 5 at 5 at 5 at 5 at 255 at 255 at 55 60 at 255 7.5 257.5 257.5 90 days weaned 257.5 internet's in 250 brass is in 255 7.5 255 7.5 brass is in 255 7.5 Rice Ains 255 put them on number 55. Resell the spot. Resell the spot. Dennis. Here's Lawson cattle from Gary. The Lawson cattle from Gary. Got anything on them? Nothing on mine. They got good gals here. 250 at 250 at 250. They get 60. They get now. They get phones. They get now. They get at 260. They get now 60 internet. Where are you? 260 at 260. They get 70. They get 70 and 270. They get 65 and 265 and 5. They get 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 5. So 260. Wagner 260. Another Lawson. Another one of the Lawson Heifers right here. 235 at 235 at 7.5 at 7 at 40 at 42.5 45 at 7.5 47.5 50 at 252.5 5 at 55 at 5 at 252.5 at 252.5 5 at 252.5 5 at 5 at brass 252.5 brass. Put them on number 20. 25 or 6, I can't. A little boy K is here now. To get 225, 30, at 225, to get 30, at 225, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 232 and a 5, at 35, to get 42 and a half, 5, at 45, 7 and a half, 50, at 250, internet yacht, 250, at 252 and a half, 5, at 55, 60 now, 5, at 5, 65 now, 70, at 270, to get 265, 70, at 265, 70 now, 5, at 275, internet 80, at 280, to get 80, to get 280, to get 275, 80, at 275, 80, and 80, to give 80, to give 80, Derek Moore, 275. Put him on number 22. Yeah, Harris. Charlie Beard. Charlie Beard, Jason, he gone. Probably wasn't got on that tractor, don't you think? Charlie Beard. What about these? You got anything? Pretty nice heifers here. 220 and 220 to get 2.5 and 225 to get 5 to get 7.5 to get 30 and 230 to get 30 to get 31 to get 31 32 32 33 and 33 to get 232 33 4 and 234 5 and 235 to get 5 to get 5 to get 234 5 and 234 5 to get that Thielen 234 Thielen 2-1. Charlie Beard steers. Charlie Beard, he had good stock out Calumet right there in the green of the gourd. And to get 245, 245, to get 7.5, 245, 47.5, to get 45, 47.5, 250, 250, to get 50, to get 47, 3, 48, now 9, and 9. Charlie Beard, Jason. You know anything? 250, 250, to get 50, to get 249, 50 now 1, 251 internet, 251, 251 2, 252 3, 253, to get Derek out 4, 254, to get 4, Gary out 254, 253 4, 253 4, to get 53, 54, you get 4 4, internet 253, Derek Moore, put him on number 22. Willis got it from Gary. Okay, move them, please. Come on for Gary now. To get 230, 230, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, 230, to get 30, to get 30, better 30, better get 30, better get 30, better get 30, 230, to get 30, to get somebody can do that here. 230, 230, to get 25, 225, 7.5, to get 7.5, to get 7.5, 225, 7.5, to get 7.5, to get 7. Thielen, 225, put on number 2-1. Whoop, 2-0. 31 Prague. 31 Prague. Where were you at? Willis Cali, guys. Gary, Oklahoma. Willis Cali from Gary, Oklahoma. I entered again at 225, 225, and again at 7.5, and again at 25, 27, 30, 232 and a half, 32 and a 5, 35, 37 and a half, and again 7 and 40, 242 and a half, 42 and a 5, and 45, and again 42 and a 5, 42 and a 3, 5, 7, and 47, and again 45, 7, 45, 7, and again brass, 245 brass. Put on number 20, no, yep, 26, and Prague. She just got here. So did I. No, one of them Willis calves. Gary, Oklahoma. Okay. There's another one right here now. To get 275, 275, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, to get 80, 280, to get 275, 80, to get 280, to get 275, 80, 275, to get 80, now 5, 85, to get 285, 90, to get 290, to get 90, 85, 90, to get 290, to get 90, to get 90, to get 90. So 285, put them on Thielen O. Yes. Good little Harvard's here. Same deal. Nope. Whitfield, guys. Guthrie, Oklahoma. Over at Guthrie, to get 250, 250, to get 2.5, 250, to get 2.5, to get 252 and a half, 252 and a half, to get 2.5, to get 2.5, 250, 250, to get 52 and a half, 252 and a half, to get 2.5, to get 2, George on bed, 2.5 here, to get 5, 255, 255, 252 and a 5. You out here now, Larry, you out 255, 255, 255, 255, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5. Larry's out 255. Bryce, 252 and a half. Bryce, put him on 2.5. Long tail cattle right there from Guthrie, Oklahoma. And to get 230, and 230, to get 2.5, to get 232 and a half, 232 and a 5, and 35, 7.5, to get 7.5, yeah, 740, 242 and a half, 242 and a brash, yeah, 42 and a half, 5, 247 and a half, 50, 252 and a half, 252 and a half, yeah, again, 252 and a half, 252 and a half, to get 250 now, 2 and a half, 252 and a half, to get 52 and a half here, Thielen, 250, 2-1, Prague. Are they coming? They coming? Harris. Well, the Whitfield cattle. Whitfield. Yearling's right there. Yearling cattle here now. They get 250. 250. They get 2.5. 250. 2.5. They get 2.5. They get 250 now. 2.5. 250. 2.5. They get 2.5. Behind boys. 250. 250. 250. They get 2.5. They get 2.5. They get 2.5. 2.5 here. They get so 250. And put them on number one. Reynolds 1. Rube's cattle from Yukon. Rube's cattle, Yukon. Good white face heifers. Long time wing, got a lot of body to him right there now. 2 1/4, 225, 30, 225, and to get 30, to get 5, and to get 235, and to get 35, and to get 35, and 235, internet chat, 235, 7.5, 40, and 2.5, and 42 and a half, 242 and a half, 242 and a half, and 240, when to get 2.5, better deal, 242 and a half, 242 and a half, 242 and a half, Bryce, 240, Bryce Haynes, number 2526 Prague. Two heifers right here now. Floor from Hara. Floor from Hara. They to get 240 and 240 to get 2.5 and 240 2.5 to get 40 to get 40 to get 40 to get 40 30 and 230 to get 30 to get 30 to get 30 to get 32 32 and a half and 232 and a half to get 232 and a half and 232 and 5 and 35 Bryce 235 40 and 240 now 40 now 5 245 Bryce 245 and 45 now 50 and 250 Larry 250 and 5 250 and 50 to get 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 50 and 50 Bryce Haynes 245 Bryce Haynes put him on number 25 I think I can't see it for him. Same cattle right here. Move them. And about $2.10 and $2 bill 10 and 210 to get 10 5 to get 10 10 to get 10 12 and a half at 210 12 and a half to get 12 and a half to get 12 and a half at 210 12 and a half to get 12 and a half at 210 12 Joe bid Jerry 210 put him on number 22. Here comes the Chipwood cattle from Blanchard. Here's an little cattle come down Blanchard. Look like they're just hungry. By the head, 300. 320. 340. 60. 80. 4. 20. 40. 60. 80. 480. So 460 Billy number 2 male dinner George male George hope they're Harris. Chipwood cattle again, guys, down there in Blanchard. $3 now 10 and $3 now 10 and $3.10 to get that 10 to buy them to get 10 to get 3 to get that 10 to get 3.10 and $3 now 10 to get 10 over to get 10 over to get 10 over to get 10 and $3 now 10 to get 10. I've sold cattle hiring this all day, guys. $3 a pound and $3 a pound and $3 a pound here to get that 3 to get 3 to get well $2, $2.20 a pound, $2.40, $2.60, $2.80, $3, $2.83.20. Sold $3. Put them on Derek Moore. Goodbye, Derek. Number 3. Well, Chitwood heifers right here, 250, 250 to get 60, 250, 60 to get nice cattle, 260, 260 to get I'm not going to back up there, guys. 60, 70, 270 to get 70 to get 270, 260, 70 behind 280, 280 internet, 280 internet, 280, 80, 90, 290 to get 90, over to get 90, better than 90, 290, 280, 290, 280, 290, 280, 90 here, Derek Moore, 280. Oh, Larry Wagner. Larry Wagner, I'm sorry. Little bull calves, guys, down there, Blanchard, Chitwoods. Down there, Blanchard here, they're taking out $3 now, 20, and $3 now, 20, and $3 now, 20, they're taking out 20, but 20, they're to get 20, they're to get 20, they're to get 20, and 320, 40, they're to get 60, they're to get 360, and 340, 50, 360, and 60, 350, 360 a pound, 360 a pound, 360 a pound, 360 a pound. All you folks are out, 360 a pound. Derek Moore, 350 on the internet. Number 3, Derek, is that right? I guess. I ain't here yet. Bouquet is more than Chitwoods. Blanchard, Oklahoma, they're taking out 285, 90, at 285, they're taking 90, they're taking 290, they're taking 285, they're taking 90, better than 90, here outside 90, at 285, 90, at 285, 90, now 595, 3, they're taking $3 here, 5, at 305, 10, they're taking 10, they're taking 10, they're taking 10, 15, and 310, they're taking 15, they're taking 310, they're taking 15, and 15, they're taking 15, they're taking 15, fish, at 310, fish, oh. Wilson cattle, Kirk Wilson. They coming? There is one nice calf right there. That's several drafts, these Wilson cattle. Several drafts of them, guys. Nice calf here. Huh? Binger, Oklahoma. They're getting out 3 1/4. Thank you. At 3 1/4. At 325. 30. They're getting out 30. They're getting out 30. They're getting 30. Now 5. At 5. At 40. They're getting 45. They're getting 45. 50. At 60. They're getting 370. They're getting 70. And 360. 370. And 70. They're getting 70. Fish. 360. Oh. Here's another one. Binger. Little heifer here now, they're taking 275.80 and 275.80 and 275.80. Internet, where are you now? 280 and 275.80, 85 and I get 285 and 285 and I get 285 and 285 and I get 5 and about Derek Moore 280. Put him on number 20. No, put him on number 3. Five more little bull calves. What'd you say, Binger? Binger, Oklahoma, guys. Binger. Little thin flesh bulls down there. Binger. Bigger, you're taking out 230, and 230, you're taking out 30, you're taking 30, you're taking 5, and 235, you bid George here, 235, and 235, you're taking 5, and out, you're taking 40, and 235, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, internet jack, 242 and a half, 5, and 245, 7 and a half, internet, and 47 and a half, 50, and 250, you're taking 52 and a half, you're taking 52 and a half, and 250, we're taking 2 and a half, and 252 and a half here, 2 and a half here, Derek Moore, 250 on the internet, put him on number 3. 22. I'm sorry, Derek. Three more bulls. How big are they? Why didn't you run them? Why didn't you run them? Okay. Huh. I ain't sold a yearling yet today. What do you think that is? Think these are yearlings or these are ball-in calves, I guess, George. Is it nose broke? Huh? He's just been running a long ways. He's mad. They all go. $1.75.80 and 175. Better give 80. Better give 80. Better give 175.80 and 175. And he is mad. 175. 175. 175. Ask and you shall receive. I'll sell 2 at 2 1/4. You'll give $1.75 for all of them. $1.80. $1.80 a pound. Reynolds, $1.75. Number 1. Goodbye. I bragged on you my whole life. Huh? This is not. Thank you. This is a Fleming cattle. Long time weaned around shots. Matt Fleming. You know him? Long weaned, guys. Long weaned little bull calves right there now. I entered to get 3 1/4, 325, 30, to get 30, to get 40, to get 40, to get 40, 50, 360, to get 360, 70, 370, to get 80, 380, to get 70, 80, 370, 80, 370, 80, 370, give 80 here, 80 there, but to give 80, but to give 80, but to give 80. Mike Jubin at 380, to give 80, to give 80. Sold 370, put them on Butch 2020. There's Matt right up there. Here we go, I think. Fleming cattle right here. Fleming. Here we go. Order to get heifer. 250. 255. 255. Better get 5. Better get 5. Better get 5. Better get 5. 255 now. 60. 260. 70. Order to get 70. Order to get 270. 260. 70. 260. 70. Order to get 70. Order to get yes sir. 80. 280. You're out. 280. 270. 80. You bid. 80. Order to get 280. 270. 80. 90. 290. 3. Order to get $3 here. 3. 3. Order to get 3. Order to get 3. Order to get 3. We're at 290. We're at 290. We're at number 21. Wow. $60 days weaned. They come right down there by Minko. They're out of some high dollar Angus bulls. Here's my Harris boys. They went from one extreme to another. Good as you can grow, guys. They're steered. They're steered 60 days weaned here. They're getting at 240. At 240, they're getting at 40. They're getting 40. At 240, they're getting at 40 to pound. They're getting 40. 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 At 240, they're getting at 40. They're getting at 40. They're getting 40. At 240, they're getting 35. At 235, 7.5. 235, 40. At 240, they're getting 40. 237 at 40. At 237.5, 40. At 237.5, 40. Got your man. 37.5, 40. At 40, they're getting sold. 237.5. Reynolds 1. Is that all you guys bring? That's all you trailer to hold them biggins like that. Thank y'all. Tell Mom okay? Tell her I said hi. Prentice cattle, guys. Steve Prentice from Piedmont, Oklahoma. 2 little bull calves right there now. They're to get 275. At 275. At 275. They're to get 5. 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 They're to get 275. At 275. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 50. At 255. At 55. They're to get 55. They're to get 60. They're to get 65. At 5. They're to get 265. At 265. At 265. They're to get 570. At 270. They're to get 70. And 70. They're to get 270. To get 70 and 70. Max Reese 265 51. No 50. Or the Prentice cattle. She is a good little heifer, isn't she? 275.80 at 275.80. They're to give 80. Piedmont, what it? 280 at 275. They're to give 80 at 275.80. They're to get 275.80 at 80. They're to get 75. They're to give 85. They're to give 80. No, 285. No, 285, 90, and 290 internet, 290, 285, 90 internet, 290, and 5, better get 295, better get 95, better get 295, and 295, better get 95, 95, Wagner at 290 on the internet, Wagner on the internet. Should be 4 little boy calves off of them. They're long tail calves. Yes. Steers and bulls. Are they steers and bulls, Anton? Steers and bulls. You get them all, guys. Off that Prentice cattle up there at Piedmont, 2 1/4, 225, 7.5. Better get now 7.5. Better get 30. Better get 2.5, 5. Better get 7.5, 40, 240. Better get 2.5. Better get 42.5, 5 at 45. Better get 7.5. Better get 7.5, 47 at 50, 250, 250. Better get 247.5, 50. Jerry, you're out. 250, 247. You guys are all out. 250, 250. Reynolds, 247. Reynolds 1. That's just your kind, young man. Andy LaFoe. Steros right here now. They're get steros here. They're get 275. 275. They're get 75. They're get 5. They're get out the wean. Or 275. 275. They're get now 5. They're get 5. They're get 50. 250 now 5. 255. They're get 55. They're wean steers, guys. 250 now 5. 255. They're get 55. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. 255. They're Jerry. Put on number 5. 250 a pound. So two pins the last 2 weeks. How you like that? Right here to get a Tatum Farms out in Marlow. 250. 250. They're get 5. They're get 255. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. 250 now 5. They're get 60. 55. 60. They're get 55 now 60. 255 now 60. 255 now 60. They're get Ziggy Wagner. 255 on the internet. Goodbye. 5 more heifers from Marlow, Oklahoma. Nice heifers right here now. They're getting anything on 30 days wean, guys. 30 days wean here now. They're get 225. 225. They're getting 25, 225. They're getting 25, 7.5. 227 to 30. 232 and a half. 32 and a half. 5. 235, 7.5. 7.5. Internet out. 237.5. 37.5. 40. 2.5. They're get 42.5. You both out of here. 42.5. 245 internet. 242.5. Internet out. 242.5. 242.5. 245 and 45 here. Get Thielen, 242.5. Put on number 33. You boys stay out of the heat now. All right, call me next time. Here we go. Here to go. Bull is coming. Tatum Farms out in Marlow. They're getting good bulls here. 250. 250. They're get 5. 255. They're getting 55. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. 55. 55. 55. 255. They're getting 255. 255. They're get 55. They're get 5. They're get 5. They're get 5. Reynolds. 250 number 1. Goodbye, young man. Me too. Eight more bulls off of them, guys. Down Marlow. Bulls down Marlow, $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and 2 to get 10, to get 10, to get now 15, and now 20, to get 225, to get 25, and 225, to get now 225, 30, and 230, to get 25, 30, 225, 30, and 230, to get 225 now 30, and 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30 Varner, 225 Varner, 7. Larson cattle from Piedmont. Larson. I thought you knew everybody at Piedmont. Little white-faced cattle. You don't know anybody that owns Hereford anyway. Little bull calves right here now. They're to get 275, 80, and 275. They're to get 80. They're to get 75, 80, 275, 80, and 75, 80. They're to get little fancy little calves, guys. 275, 80, and 275, 80. They're to give 80. They're to give 80. They're to give 80. They're to get 250, and 255, and 255. They're to get 55. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5, 60, and 260, 5, and 5. They're to get 5. They're to get 5. They're to get ahead. They're to get 5 now, 70, and 270, 270. They're to get 70 fish, 265. Oh. Another little Hereford steer, $2 a pound, 210, 210, 210, 20, 220, 30, 240, 250, 260, 70. Get your man, 270. That's my man over there. You find another one. 270, 80, 90, 3, 310, 310, 20, 320, 310, 20. 310, 20. Your way, George, 310. Jerry, 5. Are you here? Be the Hartley calves of Bethany. They're 90 days weaned, my mail says, George. They show it. 90 days weaned, Dennis. Where'd he go? Pretty good heifer right here now. To get that two. Dennis, 90 days weaned. From Bethany, to get 235, and 235, and 235, to get 5, to get 5, to get 5, just walk off. 235, 7.5, 40, and 240, to get 40, to get 2.5, 240, 2.5, and 45, to get 240, 2.5, and 240, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 50, and 250, 2.5, and 5, to get 55, 7.5, and 250, 7.5, 55, 7.5, and 7.5, B, 255, B, 6 and Pregum. The Yellow Horizon, Lindsay, Oklahoma. Lindsay, Oklahoma. Huh? Several? Got to be fancy now. Hey, look here. You got anything on the Yellow Horizon? Calves come out of Lindsay. Fancy. 275.80, 275, to get 80, 280, to get 85, to get 285, to get 285, and 285 here, to get Larry, where are you, 285, 90, and 290, to get 5, to get 95, to get 95, 95, Larry, and 295, 3, and $3 here, 10, 5, now 10, and 3, 5, 10, to get 3, 5, 10, and 10, to get 305, 10, and 305, 10, 305, 10, 10, 10, Larry Wagner, 305, good calves. Good calves. Here's some bull calves. Come with them. Little bull calves come with them here. They're to get $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10, and $3 now, 10. They're to get 10, 15. They're to get 20, and 325. They're to get 30, and 30. They're to get 330. They're to get 330. They're to get 325 now, 30, and 325, 30, and 325. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30. They're to get 30, and 5, and 335. They're to get 35. We together, 335, and 35. They're to get 35, 5, 5, 5 fish, and 330 for number 0. Ten more of them. Come out of Byers, Oklahoma. Williams Ranch. Several of these calves, guys. Williams, you here? Williams family out of Byers. Are they? Byers. Just got here, guys. Talk about a nice set of heifers. What do you say? Williamson, Ranch, Byers. I entered to get 230, 230, to get 2.5, to get 230, 2.5, to get 2.5, to get 230, 2.5, 230 got. I got him. 232 and a half, and 235, and 35, and I get 7.5, 40, and 240, and I get 2.5, and I get 45, and I get 245, and 242 and a half, 5, and 242 and a half, 5, 242 and a 5 here, Bryce Young get 5, and I get 542 and a 5, 7.5, and 247 and a half, and 247 and a half, and I get 7.5, and I get 7.5. Bryce, 245, Bryce, put him a number 26 in Pregum. Are the steers? Williamson Ranch. They are steers. They're pretty got some body to them, don't they, George? Nice steers right here now. $3. Should get three at $3. You're to get now 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 $3 at $3 here. $3 here. But to get $3. But to get $3. But to get $3. But to get $3. But to get $3 at $3 here. $3. You're to get $3. You're to get somebody do that. $3 at $3. You're to get $3. You're to get $3. You're to get $3. You're to get $3 at $3 here. You're to get $3. You're to get $2. 220, 40, 260, 280, 3, 90, 290, Varner, 280, 1, 11, $12 more. Fancy steers. Fancy steers. 250 and 250 and 5 and again 55 and again 5 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 55. Don't know anything about them. Just come in late from Byers, Oklahoma. 255. They're nice. I know that. 255. Now 7.5. Now 60. 260 and 260. And again 57 and a half. I get to get your man. 260, 2.5, 265, and 265, 265, 265, internet out, 265, 265, internet, 265, no, Pokey's out, 262 and a 5, 265, 265, now 7.5, Gary, 267 and a half, 267 and a half, internet, you're out, 267 and a half, Varner, 265, 65. McLemore cares from down at Ninnicall, George. Ninnicall, I get 250, 60, 250, I get 60, 260, I get 250, I get 5, 255, I get 55, I get 255, 255, I get 55, I get 5, I get 5, I get 5. Nice Harper's guys at 250, 250, I get 50, I get 50, I get 50, I get 50, I get 2.25, 225, 30, 95, 235, 235, 235. We together, 235, 235. Where? Yep, 235, 235, 235. Far, 230, put on a number. 90, 90. Bouquet is right here now. 250 now, 60. 250 now, 60. 250, to get 60. To get Azagiti Fons, at 70. To get 270. And 270. To get 70, 80. And 280. To give 80. 280, 280, 280, 280. And 270, give 80. You're out. 280, 270, give 80. 270, give 80. And 90. And 290, 290, 290, 280, 290, 290. To get 90. Wear it. 280, wear it. Number 20. Mail, George. Get them all out, George. That there got larger. Lost his ear. Lost his ears. More. Couple. Man need a check. Gonna bring him, sell him today. $2. 202 and a half. $2 bill, 2.5. 202 and a half. 202 and a half. They're gonna have $2 bill here. Two. They're gonna have $2. They're gonna have $2 and 2. They're gonna get 2. They're gonna get 2. They're gonna get 2. They're gonna get $1.50. $1.60. $1.70. $1.80. $1.80 over here. 90. 192. 90, 95, $2 here, 2. Better deal. 195, 2. 195 2. Terry, 195, put him 11. She is a good ever. $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and $2 here, $2, to get 2, but to get 2, but to get 2, and $2 here, 2, to get 2, to get 2, and $2 here, 2, to get 2. Looks like a 9 to me. $2 and $2 to get that, $2 to get that, 2, to get that 2, and 2 to get that 2, to get 2, to get 2, to get 2. Did you? $2, 150. 60, 70, 80, 90, 190, 190, 190. Sold 180 Ricardo. What's going? They're all going. They're all going to go right here now. $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, and $2 now 10, to get that 10, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, and $2 now 10, 10, 10. Dollar bill now 10, 20, 30, and 130, 40, 140, 50, to get 60, to get 70, 80, and 180, 180, 180, 180, 190, and 192, and $2 here, 2, to get 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 2, and 2 to Jerry, 190, put him on number 5. House from Lokiba. Black-eared steer. Bull. Black-eared bull. Pretty cute, isn't he? 2 1/4, 30, and 230, and 230, to get 225, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30, and 230, to get 30, to get 30, to get 30. He too high. 235, 40, 245, 50, 250, 245, 50, 245, 50. I'm right up here, 245. Now 50. I got it. Fish is in. You're out, Jerry. 250. Now 5. 255. Jerry, 250. 5.
Here you go, George. You need these next. You need the next. Yes. Oh, looky there.
I bet you're all going to be right up there.
Which one?
They're already going on Facebook right up there. Huh? No. But he's going to buy them. Dollar bill, now 10, 110, 20, 30, 130, 40, 50, 150, 60, 160, 70, 170, 170 internet, 170, 80, 180, 90, 190 Jerry. $2 a pound, 10, 210, 20, 220, 210, 220, 210, 220. Derek Moore on internet, 210. Number.
All right, should be about 20 tags. Huh? Yeah.
Nice over here, 225 and 225. Better get that 25, 25, 25. About 20 of these odds, guys. 225 and 225. Better get that 25, 25, 25. 225 and 225, 30 and 30. To get that 30. To get that 30. 35, 235, 235, 235. Champion, 230. Put him on number 0. John, give me something to drink, please.
There's a couple.
Give me something to drink, please. Little heifer right there, dollar bill, now 10, at 110, 20, 110, 20, 120, 110, 120, 110, 120, 110, 20. Who'd you say? Got him, 110, 120, 30, 130, 40, 140, 50, 160, 170, 180, 190, 192, $2, $2, $2. Sold 190. Internet. Derek Moore. Put him on number 3. And the heifer here now, they're like $1.50, $1.60, $1.50 now, 60, $1.70, they're like $1.70, they're like $1.70, they're like 80, and 80, 90, 190, 190, 190, George's out, 190, and 180, 190, 180, 190, and 185. Anybody want to give 185? Sold 180, Ricardo. Nice heifer, Ricardo. Best I ever saw you buy. Bring her back next week, but take your shotgun and kill that one with warts and horns. Kill him. Bull. $2, 2.5, 202 and a half, 5, 205, better get 9, 205, 7.5, 10, 210, 12.5, 15, better get 17.5, 20, 220, better get 20, better get 2.5, 220, 2.5, 7.5, better get 30, 230, better get 30, better get 30, better get 30, better get 30, champion, 227.5, put on champion number 5. Penny with the zeros, will do, penny with the zeros, thank you. She's a little loose, 50 cents. She can run. 50 cents, 60. 60 cents. You bidding? 70. 80. 90. $1. Terry, 90 cents. 1. Good heifer right here now. $2, 2.5, and 202 and a half here, 2.5. Bryce 2.5, 202 and a half. Good heifer now, 2.5, and 202 and a 5, and 205. Better get 7.5, 10, and 210. Better get that 10, 12 and a half. Better get 15, 17 and a half, 20, 220. Better get that 20, better get that 20, better get that 20, and 20. Better get 20. Jerry 217 and a half, 22. Prager. Put Hereford on her, please. That's what John brought me. Thank you. Somebody brought it. John, bring it. Bless his heart. Bless his little overworked heart. Boo. $2, 2.5, and 202 and a half. Better get 2.5. Better get 202 and a 5, and 205. Better get 202 and a 5. Better get 205, 7.5, and 7.5. Internet 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. 207 and 10, and 210, 12 and a half, 15, and 17 and a half. Better get 17 and a half. Internet yacht 17 and a half. Better get 17 and 20, and 222 and a half. 222 and a half. Internet yacht 222 and a half, and 220. Better get 2 and a half. Better get 222 and a half. Jerry 220. Put him on number 22, and better get number 22. There's a good bull calf right there at $2 now, 10, and 210, and 210. I'm let you bid, boys. 10, 20, and 220, 30, to get 40, to get that 40, to get that 50, to get 60, to get 260, and 260, to get 60, and 260, to get that 250, 260, and 250, 260, and 60. Varner 250, 41. Where you at, George? Where you at? Where you at? $2 now, 10, and 210, and $2 now, 10, to get that 210, 20, to get that 225, to get 30, to get 230, and 225, 30, 225, 30, 225, 30, and 30. Chamlin 225, put them 6, 225, Chamlin 6. Prager. Ugly bull. Dollar bill now 10, and 110, 20, 120, 30, 130, 40, 140, 50, 160, 170. Who'd you say? He's out. 170, 180, 190, $2, 10, 20, 30, 230, 220, 30, 220, 30. So 220, Antone. finally got one sold I kind of think worked so well. Mucho loco. Maybe he'll die. $2, 2.5, and 202.5, 5, and 205, very good, 205, very good, 202.5, very good, 7.5, very good, 10, and 12.5, 15, 17.5, and 17.5, 20, and 220, very good, 220, very good, 2.5, and 222.5, 5, and 225, very good, 5, very good, 5, very good, 2.5, and 2.5, very good, 5, very good, Jerry, 222.5, 22, Prague. Little rough in his old back. Dollar bill now 10 and 110, 20, 120, 30, 130, 40, 140, 140, 140, 150, and 160, at 160, dirty get 170, dirty get 180, dirty 190, dirty get $2, and $2 here, dirty get $2, dirty get 2, better get 2, and 190, better get 2, better get 2, better get 2, better get 2, cherry, 190, put them on 9. I believe if the board goes down in about 2 or 3 more weeks, we can get them under $2. Won't take that long. Somebody's pet. $1.50, $1.60, $1.60, 70, 170, to get 170, 80, 180, 90, 190, 192, and $2 here, 2, to get 10, and 210 now, 15 now, 20, to get 25, to get 30, and 230, to get 25, 30, 25, 30, and 30, Chamlin, 225, 0. $1.50, $1.60, $1.70, $1.70, 80, $1.80, 90, 190, 190, 190, 180, 190, 180, 92, and $2 now 10, and 210, to get 5, 205, 205, 205, and 205, to get 205, to get 205, Ricardo, $2. $1.50, $1.50, $1.50, to get 60, $1.60, to get $1.60, 70, 170, 80, 180, 90, 192, at $2 now 10, 210, 20, and 220, to get 210, 220, 210, 220, and 20, Chamlin, 210, put on number 0. That same one, steer, $1.50, $1.60, $1.70, $1.80, $1.90, $2, 10, 220, 230, 240, 240, 240, 240, 240, Chamlin, 230, 0. By golly, got them all colored in it. $1, 10, 110, 120, 110, 20, 30, 130, to get now 30, to get 40, to get 40, 50, to get 50, 60, and 70, to get 80, to get 90, to get $2 here, 10, and 210, to get $2 now, 10, and 20, to get 220, to get 210, 20, and 210, 20, Chamlin, 210, put on 0. 220, 220, to get 5, to get 225, to get 25 now, 30, to get 30, to get 30, to get 35, 235, to get 235, to get 235, to get 5, champion, 236. Pretty good heifer, George. Yeah. 225, 225, to get 925, to get 25, 30, 230, 230, 230, 230, 225, 30, to get 30, champion, 225. There could be the ugliest animal I've seen today. 50 cents. 60. 60. 60. Terry 9. Whoa, Terry 1. 50 cents a pound. Little off in his leg, little off, $1 a pound, $1.10, 110, 110, at 110, to get 110, 110, 110, 20, 110, 20, 110, 15, now 20, to get 5, to get 25, at 125, 30, at 30, to get 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, 130, Terry, 125, 9. Steer, we go sell a spot. Sell a spot. 250, 250, I either to get at 250, to get $2 now 10, at $2 now 10, at $2.10. He just spotted calf on some other cattle here, 210, and 210, to get 10, to get 10, to get 10, 210, and 210, to get somebody needs him, $2, and 2, to get 2, to get 2, to get 2. He's the cheapest some other cattle I've sold too high. $1, $10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 150, 60, 70, 80, 190, 2, 10, 210, 210, 210, bar $2, 5.